silent! Be still!
Always free with
That's why mine are always black.
There we go.
Hereafter, so that we remember our bonds, we shall always come together in a circle.
It's not so much chill. We hit so many different topics and jump all over.
To hear and tell of deeds, good and brave.
You went full cookie puss.
Hi, I'm just look.
I will build a round table where this fellowship shall meet.
That's why it's the round table. We're all equals here.
Well, at least I'm not pulling a rickshaw.
Remember it well then, this night, so that in the years ahead, you can say, I was there that night.
There's a lot of shots being fired.
And it sounded like somebody was sucking down their microphone like a slack jaw bundle of sticks.
Whoa, there's no gay frogs here.
Good and evil, there never is one without the other. Where hides evil then in my kingdom? Always where you never expect it.
It passes through Antifa ranks. It smells like cat piss and kitty litter.
Yeah.
And patchouli.
I know a few YouTubers who smell like that.
And look upon this moment. Savor, rejoice with great gladness.
And welcome to the round table.
For it is the doom of men that they forget.
Hello, everyone, and happy Father's Day. We got a bit of a special one tonight because it is Father's Day. So I forgot to share this already, but here we go. It's one of our favorite TV dads ever, Al Bundy. He's wishing you all a happy Father's Day.
My hero. I hope that reboot comes through that they've been rumored.
Oh, yeah. I didn't know about that.
Yeah, I think they're going to do a cartoon version of it, and everybody's coming back to do their voice. Because this way, Christina Applegate, because she's not doing well with her MS. This way, it'll be something she can do and be part of. So.
Oh, cool. For sure, that would be great. I mean, and then you get a little more crazy too. Mm-hmm. I mean, they had episodes that were very cartoon-like, but just hilarious. So that's awesome. But well, let me say hello to my panelists here. But we'll start with Tina. It's been a minute since you've been on here, so here's the floor. Hello, Tina.
Hello. I'm so glad to be back on a Sunday night because I love hanging with you guys, and thankfully I don't have an early meeting tomorrow because it's Juneteenth holiday observation, so I get an extra day off. What the hey? Can't complain. Had a great Father's Day with my father and Mr. Bojan, so
nice.
Good day. Yeah.
That's fantastic. And yeah, we know tomorrow's going to take everyone's breath away. Remember, don't stick up anybody, even though it's a special holiday for a special person. It's wrong. You don't do that. We also have our resident vampire. He flew in, and boy, are his wings tired.
Hey guys, what's up? I'm doing good. Happy Father's Day to everybody out there, and I'm looking forward to whatever we're going to talk about today.
Yeah, it's a little bit of kind of with free ball in it, but no, I got a couple topics. There's one I have to kind of we got to skate around, but I definitely do want to talk about it. And Bad Take Bojan definitely wants to talk about something too. She did happen to see something, and I went off on Friday. And again, I'm glad everyone enjoyed that stream. By the way, it picked up a lot of views. I was busy, so I didn't see until today. I'm like, oh well, that's good. But hopefully, we're dropping the hammer down in the good way that people are opening up their eyes to the hypocrisy and the bullshit that a lot of these YouTubers are doing. But hey, you know who's genuine? You know who's awesome and honest? We got Chris Fisk in the house. How you doing, brother?
Oh, yeah. Hey, thanks for having me, man. Word to the wise, don't ever try to install Realtek audio drivers on your Windows 10 machine, the ones from Windows Update, because, I just spent the whole day trying to get my computer to boot and finally had to roll back everything.
Holy hell.
Yeah. And if you haven't noticed my image here, dude, this is a monumentous occasion. This is Google's title page for Father's Day. Google never has anything on Father's Day. This is the first year they actually put shit on their little title banner for Father's Day. I think
it looks very bizarre. It looks like a certain kind of Easter. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's a male penguin, and I think the reason behind the reason why they chose the penguin is because in nature, the male penguin is not only is he known for his monogamy, but he's also the one that will basically watch the eggs. He'll actually roost like the eggs, which is not a thing that male birds usually do, and they're like they'll actually they court their the female penguins with rocks and stuff. They're like, hey, I found this pebble, baby. Sling him some rocks, baby. So I think that's kind of cool. But I'm just happy that this is finally a year where dads get their due, because it's long overdue, in my opinion. Because I mean, families, it takes two, baby.
Yeah, you know what?
Amen.
That's bullshit. There are men that actually use rocks to attract women, but most of them live in Detroit.
You know what? I smoke rock.
Yeah, baby.
It's a different kind of rock. Thank you for that. And and here's Tommy. Here's our guinea pig. Who's your daddy? What is? Oh, I do have a special message from somebody. I'm gonna play after I introduce everyone. But Tommy, how are you doing today? And happy Father's Day.
Rorschach's Journal, 6/18/2023. Was looking around, finding more females to impregnate so I can celebrate Father's Day in more style. Did not work out. Going to keep at it. Never compromise.
Speaking of somebody who all over the place, and it goes with his name, Brutal Morningwood.
Yeah. Hey, thanks for the invite. 4 minutes was not enough time to go outside and get high before I get my invite. I got to start checking these things sooner. But thanks for that. That's cool. It's Father's Day. I'm reminded of my father, who we used to spend Mother's Day with him because he was, and I quote, the biggest mother of them all.
Oh.
Yeah, he would have that conversation with my mother many times on the phone. We would end up spending Mother's Day with him. Father's Day, Mother's Day, any day.
Well, God bless, and we're sending good thoughts your way, and I hope your Father's Day has been nice.
Yeah, it's been quiet. I'll say that. Al Bundy was one of my old man's favorites, so I'm jazzed for this. Al Bundy was one of my old man's favorites.
Oh, nice. Yeah, because I want to do that. I want to talk a little bit about some TV dads and movie dads that were pretty awesome. So that's going to be kind of like one of the topics tonight, and kind of like who are our favorites, and he's definitely one of mine. And here's another awesome individual. He goes by Pop. He goes by Superfan. Cyclops. Adam, how you doing, brother?
I'm doing good, having some fun. We got some crazy squirrels going on there in the background, so it looks good. Hail to the tone deaf Tony. I'm sure he's somewhere. The monotony. He's got to be somewhere around.
Yeah. Hopefully he'll
probably working real hard since he's 3 hours behind us. Poor guy. Yeah. He's still working. Yeah, man, glad to be here. It's been an actual pretty good day for once.
Nice. Yeah, I heard you had a good one with family, and that's an awesome thing. That's for sure. Hell yeah, man. And hello to everyone out there in the chat. You guys and girls, thank you for popping in here tonight. First one in was actually Draven. So, man, hail, brother. We got Toy Mafia, Tina, Superfan, Brutal, Keely Chow. Let's see. Soul Assassin, how you doing, man? Awesome to have you guys here. And we do have a special message from someone who at one point we really liked, and not really anymore. But here's Schwarzenegger with a message for everyone on Father's Day.
Who is your daddy, and what does he do?
Dad works on computers.
Screw your freedom.
I tell you what, I don't know why you're showing that guy again. I worked with him once, and I tell you what, That guy is the biggest slack-jaw bundle of sticks that I've ever worked with in my life. Conspiracy or conspiracy?
No, it's what is your daddy and who does he do?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's pretty much it. And it's wrong.
Not okay.
Well, yeah.
Unless the answer is he does Billy's mom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jeez. Well, Billy's mom, I don't know. We had these discussions last night. Last night we went a little crazy. We were on Draven's stream and we were doing the Mario Kart.
Mm-hmm.
And there were no filters. And these got nuts. But Big Ange, how are you feeling today?
I'm good.
Big Ange.
He's got a couple new nicknames.
Big Ange.
Big
Ange. Jesus.
It's like, what's worse, that or the Down syndrome thing?
He wants some ragu.
Oh, it was pretty hilarious, and we had that hustler in there. We had Kane popped in. We were having some fun, and Kane popped in, and we found a way to get rid of him. We switched like all the question mark boxes, whatever, the mystery boxes. We switched them over to Bullet Bill, and he left. He got infuriated that he couldn't come in first place.
It was hilarious, man.
It was a crapshoot. It was just bullets flying everywhere. It was great.
It was like Chicago.
Yeah. Chicago.
Going from rags to riches. Was that the big ragu? I remember that.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it was a fun time though. Oh my god, yeah, absolutely insane. But yeah. And
what's up, Edwin?
Hey Edwin, how you doing, man?
Yeah.
Hey.
I don't know if you're a father, but happy Father's Day anyway.
Yeah, man.
We're giving it to everybody out there. But yeah. I guess we could start off anyway. Because Tina, she couldn't make it on the Friday stream, and I know I went off on a lot of these YouTubers and stuff. But she did see that movie, and just remember, because I know everyone was like, "I'm seeing Michael Keaton." Well, Batman, Michael Keaton's Batman, he died. Here is a clip of the DCEU crashing and burning. And so did the film. They were projecting like 70 million opening. It clocked in closer to 60. And then they found out it's even lower than that. It's hovering around 50 to 55 million, which good. No one should be seeing that. And we know it probably made at least 10 million off the fandom YouTubers who are like, I'm going to go see it so you don't have to.
Well, you know what's really funny, Vinny? I caught a movie last night, and it actually ties in really well with this so-called fandom that's out there. Mm-hmm. So it was Joe Dirt 2. I didn't even know they made a Joe Dirt 2. What? But I'm watching this thing, and there's one scene where the guy does the damn hole in the bottom of the popcorn bucket. Mm-hmm. And his whole family comes in to grab it. And it kind of reminds me of the whole family of some of these fandom groups where they're all going inside the popcorn bucket on one another.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it is. Pete definitely, ETAP, he definitely, he talked about that on Friday as well. He had his, I am not a grifter. He had his icon up, which was great. Yeah. It was
I just want to remind all those fandom people that partake in that buttery experience, it's not butter.
Yeah. Not if all their hands are in that bucket. But anyway, yeah, that was bad. Sorry, guys. Here's one.
Not okay.
Could have been worse, Vinny. It could have been, what was it, the Van Wilder movie with the dog and the donuts?
Okay.
That is a sticky situation.
We got a double dose of Loja for that. But no, again,
can always make it a little bit worse.
Right. Again, those are the people who were crying boycott, and it's ridiculous. You can't say boycott and then go and running and give your money to these people.
Oh, they absolutely believe in boycotts, though, Vinny. They put their boyfriends on a cot.
Wait, what?
This is true.
Right.
And they finish him off there. Trina, how you doing, Trina?
You can't just go around assuming the gender of a cot, you know.
Oh my! But Well, Tina, if you want to say anything about it, because I mean, that movie looked like a piece of shit on every level. Could you confirm?
I will tell you 2 scores. Okay.
Mhm.
If I was going in just as current 50-something-year-old, Tina Bojan, the movie is a D plus. Okay.
Mhm.
However, I'm such a Michael Keaton fan,
Mhm.
and I did the total normie schoolgirl giggle when Nick Cage came on the screen. That I said for those 2 reasons I put it up to a C plus. I did not like the movie,
Mhm.
but it was so wonderfully nostalgic to see Michael Keaton as Batman.
Yeah.
And I didn't hate Sasha Callier, or however you pronounce her name, as Supergirl. I mean, she looked banging in the costume. I mean, in her suit, she looked amazing.
Well,
Her character didn't require a whole lot of acting because she was just supposed to be this angry person who was locked up for a long time.
right.
So, so it's hard not to do that well.
So she was a modern day feminist liberal.
Oh no.
It doesn't take much to get them upset. But real quick, because you said you got the nostalgia feels. Well, here's some more nostalgia feels yet again. Here is a clip of the DCEU crashing and burning. Kamikaze Keaton, that's his new name.
Yes. We see him die, I want to say like 3 or 4 times.
Oh, lovely.
So yeah, that was the first instance. So yeah.
Oh my God, how retarded.
So it was a movie, like I said, it was nostalgia. I know everybody hated when he revived the all the MCU fan YouTubers out there. They didn't like when he took a moment right before they were about to go off and do their little mini Justice League thing. He goes, "You want to get nuts? Let's get nuts." Okay, yeah, it's lame. It totally is. But come on, that's Keaton Batman. You know what I mean? So
yeah. Which I mean, because here's the thing, like I'm not gonna watch this piece of shit movie. Like my feet are planted in the ground. If anything, I might see some of the Keaton clips, but at this point, I don't even care. I really don't, because like when I'm looking at all of this, and it's funny too, because I took a drive today to go see family and stuff, and on the radio they go, "Oh, what movies are in the theater?" And they mention this thing, right? And they go, "It's starring Michael Keaton and Ben Affleck." That's what they said. So they even left out the nut job of Ezra, and this is on the radio, and it's like, all right, isn't it his movie? Well, yeah. I think it's hilarious, and that's what he deserves too. Because again, remember, every ticket sale that's going out there is also supporting a really, really dirty narrative. People seem to just forget what this creep did: child endangerment, kidnapping a minor from an indigenous woman from a reservation.
Let's put it this way: the stuff that he did would make people in Sodom and Gomorrah blush.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, the guy, he's done way more creepier things that wasn't put out there in the news. Like they didn't really cover certain things because the guy he's really sick. He is really sick. That's one. Two, you got to remember too, James Gunn, because now everything is. I know they go, oh, he had no involvement, but since they did all those reshoots and stuff, he had some producer influence in there on what they were doing and some last minute decisions. You got to remember what James Gunn is as well, and all of his friends. He's had at least 3 friends of his who were arrested. One had like 20 to 40 counts of assault on minors. And he was best friends with Gunn. Gunn put out all those insane tweets that we've seen multiple times. So like I cannot for a second give companies like that money. It's too much at this point. Too much. With
I did keep asking myself throughout the movie how much better, like if just it was Grant Gustin, if everything else stayed the same.
Oh yeah.
They replaced Ezra Miller, and I think that there were plot problems with the movie, don't get me wrong, but I think that had they done something in the first battle, first 20 minutes, where all of a sudden Ezra Miller is now, Grant Gustin, I think that they would have made a hell of a lot more money.
You know what? Hey,
I agree with you.
real quick before we get too far past it, Tina, I want to say one thing though. You did mention that that whole phrase was very Batman. It's not Batman. It's Michael Keaton.
No,
and the reason I say
well,
that
I said it was Michael Keaton's Batman. If I didn't, that's
well,
what
no,
I
no,
meant.
no, no, no. The
Sorry.
reason I say Michael Keaton because he's actually used that phrase in multiple movies.
Oh, has he really?
One of the other ones that stands out the top of my head is he used it in Beetlejuice too.
Oh yeah, he does use it in Beetlejuice.
You're right.
He's awesome.
Yeah, that is definitely a Michael Keaton catchphrase. Like every one of those actors has some kind of catchphrase, and that's definitely a Michael Keaton catchphrase.
Yeah.
Exactly. And I admit, whether it's, my mature age or whatnot, I mean, I did get hit by the nostalgia. I mean, 'cause I still, close my eyes and I still remember standing in line with my best friend, after high school graduation, what the first movie we saw was, Batman '89. I mean,
Right.
I remember waiting in line. It was like at least a mile long to get into the
Oh
theater.
yeah, I
So,
remember back
I
then
mean,
too.
yeah, so I mean that was great, and then some of the cameos in there, were, I mean it was all total member berries, absolutely, but it was sweet, and it kind of played to the lame normie that I am. So there were a couple of things that I liked, but the movie itself was just it wasn't good.
No, well, I think that's part of the problem with a lot of these movies, though, is that's what they do is they know they're going to get most people to come in because of the good feelings that they had from those characters from the past, and unfortunately, when they don't deliver a really good story throughout the entire thing, and the movie itself is garbage, and it has to rely on those nostalgia points to carry it. It really is quite pathetic when you think about it in a whole, because I mean, really, your grading on this is low, if not for those small cameo bits.
Yeah,
that to me is very sad, and it was one of the same reasons why I checked out on a lot of other franchises, because those cameo things alone are not going to carry the story for me. Because you know what, I could sit there and just take those clips out on a computer or something else, and I could just watch those clips. I don't need to own the movie to be able to watch a whole movie just for those clips. And I find that to be a big miss, because there's so much more that they could do with all these movies if they were to take the time to not just give little cameos and member berries, but actually tell a really good story from beginning to end that could involve the old characters and the new characters and bring everybody to enjoy it together. But they just refuse to.
Yeah, it's crazy.
And it didn't help that I won't spoil the ending for folks, but it didn't help that in the end there was no character redemption.
Yeah, and that's the vibe I got too with the nonsense that I heard, because it's like, okay, so the character doesn't learn any lesson. He doesn't do anything. So this movie is completely useless, much like Shazam, Fury of the Gods, much like Black Adam, because it doesn't go anywhere now. We know all this stuff is killed. This is dead. That those universes are destroyed anyway. So it's like, who cares at this point? They already destroyed so many franchises left, right, and center. It's like this movie really is. It's just, well, we got to get this out. We spent so much money on it. Let's hope that it makes the money. We'll fake hype it and everything. And maybe he will come back. Maybe blah, blah, blah. No. We know this ain't going anywhere. Ezra's done now. This movie flopped, thank God. And I know the money that they did make, a good chunk of it, that came from the fandom menace. All those people, all these people who claimed we're going to boycott. Not the casual person who doesn't really care. They're working crazy hours, and at the end of the week, they want to go see a movie, and they don't care what it is. It's just, let me see something that kind of interests me. And I get that. But if you're people who've been screaming and crying for, like I said, over a decade about how our entertainment is gone and it's a culture war, they don't have a right to say that anymore. They really don't, because it proved that when you put culture war together and you put it on a YouTuber who's claiming to fight the left, and they're watching shit like this over and over and over again, well, they're full of shit and they're grifters, and they proved it. So that's what that does. And they're going to run out now, and they're all going to see Indiana Jones 5. It's going to be the same cycle of shit. It's the same nonsense. They did it with Captain Marvel. They did it with the last 3 Star Wars movies. How many more times do you have to say this?
Content.
Well, I know it's content. I know what they're doing. I know the games that they play. But what they do is they're adding to the machine, and they're and they're a giant PR machine for them, because the companies don't care if it's good or it's bad, as long as someone's talking about it. That's what they want.
Wasn't there a report that came out that said that a lot of the generation for interest that they're getting is from some of these channels that are speaking out against it?
Yep.
Yeah. Well, it's the Howard Stern effect.
Yeah.
Remember that from Private Parts, where it was like, we got the numbers in. The people that love them are, like 60% or 50% of his market. The other 50% are people who hate him.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So why is that? Because they want to know what he says next. They both have the same answer. You know?
And I don't like the people that are like, I'm watching it so you don't have to. No, I'm going to the theater because there's something that I want to get out of it. And for me, it was Michael Keaton. Call it lame, call it nostalgia, whatever. I'm cool with it. It's my bad take. But
and it's
I'm
fine,
not going to then trying to make money and shit on it afterwards.
Exactly. That's the huge difference. And I made this point too, because I know there's certain characters and things that we've grown up with, and we have our attachments to certain ones. I said it too, like the one Marvel one I'm still going to see, as long as they keep it rated R and shit, it looks like it's still going to be Deadpool 3. I said it from the beginning.
Same.
I said it from the beginning. There are people that I like that are involved in it, and that's fine. But I'm not sitting around bullshitting and lying about stuff. It's like, okay, I know what these things are. And believe me, I wanted to see Keaton as Batman again. I did. But I'm not watching this. When I first saw the trailer, I'm like, okay, he's in it. All right. And then, like, the CG looked kind of cool. But I looked at everything else, and I'm like, no, I'm not going to support it. That's enough. I picked up the... Oh, go ahead.
For just real fast, Tina. So I mean, like the last movie would have been basically what Justice League that he was in. So does it kind of feel like it continues on, like the same shitty path? Basically like movie wise, where it made sense. The movie itself, not the Keaton part. I just mean overall.
The movie itself, I don't think it carried on the franchise at all in any meaningful way. Like when you hear about, this is what was supposed to happen instead, but since the Snyderverse is dead, they didn't.
Right.
Because they were all setting up for the next event. But the story was so disjointed. I mean, I know that they tried really hard by having Ben Affleck in the first 30 minutes of the movie. So that was kind of the connection. And then the post-credit scene has Jason Momoa in it. So I understand they tried to bookend it that way, but still
it's a mess.
It didn't seem to, Right. And there weren't people that were together other than, Barry Allen and Bruce Wayne as Keaton, and then, Supergirl. They were together, but any other cameo was completely separate. So you never saw the Justice League together.
Right.
Of course not.
Okay. Thank you for answering that, because I've been wondering, and you completely answered everything anybody wants to know. There you go.
Yeah. Well, again, Tina's a good sport on all this.
Yeah. Thank you, Tina.
Yeah. And the other thing I was going to say too, with all this horse shit and what they're doing, I mean, and again, it's like they purposely went out of the way to piss off fans. It's like George Clooney. That's your big fucking hook in the end. That's what you want to tell people. Oh, he's back. You took out one of the best people that a manly guy who could pull off Superman and still have the kindness and all that and the strength of the character. You throw him out the window. You didn't give him a chance to have him with a real good script yet. Because you had moments in Man of Steel that were good, but then the overall story and what they did, I don't know. There's shit that I liked about it, and visually it looked amazing, but the story hurt. And then it just got progressively worse. I thought it would have gotten better. It's like, okay, this is the first time he's tackling a character like that. And I loved 300 at the time, and it's like he's a good director, and I thought maybe they could tighten this stuff up a bit more. But instead they went in really stupid directions, and ultimately we saw what they did. But on both sides of it, DC, they don't know what they're doing. When you screw up a story like this, you're going to do the Flashpoint story, and you don't have Reverse Flash. You don't hit the key beats that you need. You don't have Thomas Wayne. And all this stuff was set up. It was set up. You had it there. If you had the two from Walking Dead who played Thomas and Martha from Batman versus Superman.
Oh, Jeffrey Dean Morgan?
Yeah, Jeffrey Dean Morgan in in the British.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I forgot her name.
Yeah, I'm blanking on two right now. Cohen, something Cohen.
Oh, Lauren Cohen.
Oh, that's Lauren Cohen. Yeah, like again, she was supposed to be Martha, and anyone who read the story, I'm not going to spoil it for them because the comic books are way better anyway. And the animated series, if you want to see a good one, watch Flashpoint, the animated series.
Yep,
that
Flashpoint Paradox is amazing.
That was
awesome.
It's
a great movie.
So good, and then, again, at the end they give you the moment that you need, the moment that was important, the message between. Again, it was a father-son thing. So again, happy Father's Day. We're talking about something.
You know what, though, Vinny? I mean, here's the biggest problem with DC, and they've been doing this for quite some time now. They were so worried about what Marvel was doing that they didn't take time to focus on what they were doing, and they felt like they had to counter everything Marvel was doing with something very similar instead of telling their own unique stories and actually knock them out of the park. And that was the problem from the very beginning.
Yep.
They started chasing after where Marvel was like, okay, well, we're introducing this character and this character. Bam, here comes the Avengers. Now we're going to do a follow-up with a few more of these individual stories of these separate characters. And DC just tried to follow suit instead of saying, hey, well, let's do it our way. Let's start talking about all these characters first and then do Justice League afterwards. No, they rushed everything into Justice League. And just let all the good stories, all the character buildups that they should have had beforehand, they just left it in the dirt to try to chase after Marvel.
Yeah,
that's where
exactly
they screwed up.
Yeah, they couldn't tell their own proper story, like you said. It was a stupid competition thing. That's why the animated series, all that stuff they did was better because it was a creative team that cared about those characters and they wanted to tell a good story. They weren't competing with anyone else because on the Marvel side of it, most of their animated things either sucked or were kind of so. But their movies were better at a certain point. And this was the other way around. The animated stuff that they did with DC, they did it right because they had a better creative behind it all. And that's what was important. You're right. The live action, it was just a competition thing. Look what happened. Marvel fired Gunn. They picked them up for that Suicide Squad sequel, which, oh my God, I watched the first 5 minutes. Unwatchable. What a lump of shit of a movie. I just shut it off. I couldn't.
I didn't mind it.
It's terrible. Absolutely terrible. But what happened? This guy, he put out
It was better than the last thing we got.
Well, hold on a sec. He put out the craziest, sickest shit out there on Twitter all over the place. His real feelings about children and everything. He got fired for this stuff. They tried to, you had the whole cast go, we're not going to come back until you rehire him or whatever. And then they're sitting there on the fence because all this money is involved. So DC goes, we'll take him. Like, if DC is going to use him, then that means we can still use him. He's not canceled. And then they did this back and forth nonsense. And then they put him in this position where he's going to be calling all the shots. And you could see it from the beginning. Like I said, I got up to that the super part where they loaded them up on the plane and they mentioned that character Weasel, and he's not a werewolf, but he did eat 10 children. Like I don't want to hear these James Gunn jokes in there about how he feels about children and what he wants to do to them. It's disgusting. It's absolutely fucking disgusting. And they keep pushing it. Like they want that needle to move further and further. Like Chris always says. What window is it, Chris?
I don't know. We're gonna have to name it after me if you guys keep attributing it to me.
It's the Chris window.
But he's right. That's why I'm saying it.
The Fisk window. That's what it is.
The Overton window. The Fisk window. You know, it's crazy shit. I mean, I don't know. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, not to agitate you anymore, Vinny, but at the end of that movie, that Weasel character comes back to life and gets up and wanders off into the woods.
Oh, lovely.
Yep. He does.
What a surprise. I'm sure that was Gunn's brother. He looked like his body shape. Unbelievable. But I mean, I don't know, because it's all over the place. It's not just certain things. I know it was the feminist shit, but they're doing it with everything. And the kid thing is they're pushing hard, you know? So that's why I was, you know, I don't know if you thought I meant someone else, but yeah, Chris, I'm like, what is your take on that too? Because they're definitely doing this shit everywhere.
I attribute it to bad millennial writing.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, we were kind of spoiled because we grew up in a generation of writers that actually lived life and had life experiences.
Yeah.
And, you know, the edgy humor that we had was based off of observational comedy. You know, even our saccharine, like sanitized humor, like Jerry Seinfeld, was based off of observational humor. And what we're seeing now is a bunch of millennials who were spoiled kids who never had a real life. So their idea of like humor is all edginess. It's like the things that they did to get their non-attentive parents' attention, and it's all a bunch of just winking at the camera. Yeah, just like it's to the point of ridiculousness. Like I don't think it's. I mean, granted, there probably is some Marxist agenda in there trying to get kids acclimated to this gross stuff, but like on a pure surface level, it just looks like a bunch of spoiled kids that had no life experience, that were untalented writers that were given positions to make really unfunny things. And it's like, if say for example, like say the joke doesn't land, all of the subsequent jokes that are based off of that also don't land. So you end up with like a dud that just keeps getting unfunnier and unfunnier.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, the kids can't write character development because they've never failed at anything in their life.
They don't have a character.
Well, they haven't done anything either. They live on social media. You know, it's crazy. Real quick though, I mean, Monotony, how you doing, brother? Yeah, he goes, and then there's still Shades of Marvel down the garbage chute. You know, with all this multiverse garbage, and that's another cop out. They're all doing this crap: alternate universes, multi-universes, clones, all this bullshit. It's so stupid.
It's not just DC. It's all. As Drayton pointed out, it's also Hasbro and the shit they're doing over there too.
Yeah, it's so many companies. It's the cheap thing. That's what's in right now. You remember at the time it was all zombie. It was all vampire stuff, which Draven probably liked. And
I loved it.
Then it pivoted to all zombie stuff. Now it's all multiverse shit, and it's all.
I miss the ninja stuff.
Yeah,
everything was ninjas.
Oh yeah,
in the Ninja Turtle craze.
Yep.
Yeah.
Crouching Tiger and all that stuff.
Oh yeah. Yep. Every type. Well, I mean, I don't know all the Asian stuff that they ended up doing it.
Like Blade.
Ninjas are cool. I married one.
Yeah. Oh, nice. That's awesome.
Yes.
She married a ninja.
There's a hard R on that tiger. Tell him. Hard R on that tiger.
Oh, geez. Monotony, Frankie Knows, True Rock Creations. Thank you guys. Lion Ratton, thank you for popping in here too. It's crazy. King of Squibs, how you doing, man? It's too much. All the shit that they did, it hurts. It hurts what they did. How they keep destroying things over and over and over again, and then everyone else is like, "Well, yeah, we have this one comic book that came out that did great, yay!" Because one person's famous. It's like, are you for real? There's so many great books out there, independent stuff, and everyone keeps skipping them. You know, they're not giving them a spotlight or a shine because it's still this stuff. Could you imagine?
You know what, Vinny? I don't know. Maybe it's just me, but I swear this past decade, with all the bad garbage that has been coming out, it doesn't matter which medium platform that it's been on. It could be anything from toys to games to movies, TV shows, whatever, all of it, in its entirety. This for me has actually become the decade of the eye roll. Because I don't think I have ever eye rolled as much as I have, like watching this kind of garbage that's been coming out, and all the people who just keep eating it up.
Yeah.
Eating it up, and they swear up and down it's the greatest shit that they ever seen. Like, oh my God, have you never seen anything that has been worthwhile? When you starve somebody to death and you give them a cracker, they're going to think it's the best meal they ever have. And I think that's really the situation we are in now with all this shit.
100%, dude, 100%. But it goes back down to the writing again. Like, look at this stuff. All right, so right now we just mentioned all the snarky shit, all the stupid, looking at the camera, winking at the camera stuff. Look who's on screen right now. They wrote the best insults for this character, and they were like right there on the spot all the time. You know how he'd swing open the door, the fat woman just shamued her way into the shoe store today. Like everything that he said was always awesome. There was, he said something mean to some fat chick who was being a dick to him. Because here's the thing too, you got to remember, Al never just attacked people. He always defended himself. If they insulted him, he would give it back to them 10,000 times harder, and then they couldn't take it, and they would get offended and storm out. Like the one fat woman who goes in his face and says that he's balding or whatever. And then he's like, well, you're a fat pig. And she's like, how dare you say it to my face? He goes, I'd say it to your rear, but I only have a half a tank left in my car. It's like those type of insults are gold, and you can tell it's good writing. It's funny.
Well,
it works.
So in my opinion, like, I hate to cut you off, but like, I've noticed this with modern male writing. So like Homer Simpson ushered in the lovable oaf, the doofus that, like, Marge was basically the one down to earth that basically fixed a lot of Homer's problems that he made. And then Family Guy kind of brought that up to the nth degree. But like, I think when they parodied, because obviously they were parodying Married with Children. I mean, you gotta give credit where it's due. The OG was Married with Children. But one of the things they missed was we were all rooting for Al. Like, we didn't see him as an idiot. We saw him as a guy that just got screwed by life, and he was handling it like. At the end of the day, he loved his family. Like, there are episodes where the Bundys just kicked the shit. Like, it was like, what did you say to my daughter? Bam! And it's like, that's a dad. You want that.
You'll see,
and
that's
all
a great
cheered for it.
That is a great point, because that is the thing. When it comes down to it, Al was a good father to his kids. Like, he would defend his family. Yeah, he was goofy at certain things, and he screwed up stuff. But when it came to his family, he sacrificed everything for them. And that was part of it, too. He's working at that shoe store for his family. He ain't doing it for him, and that was part of it, of like why the character, you wanted to see him do better. If they had those episodes where some good fortune landed in their lap, like, you didn't want to see it taken away, but you knew it was going to happen. But when it does get taken away, it's usually by some rich scumbag, and then he gives it to them. Kind of old school. He'll do something mean to them that's hilarious, because, like, oh yeah, they deserve that for trying to screw him over. It's things of that nature. But like you said, he wasn't the butt of the joke all the time. Or if he was on certain things, it was silly things. When it came to the important stuff, they proved that he was a good father, and that's what mattered. And that's why we kept rooting for him.
Yeah.
Kill the mouse, dude. The mouse.
Well, he wasn't a failure because he was an idiot. He was a failure because a lot of bad shit happened, and we can identify with that, because sure, a lot of our failures are a result of poor decisions being made, but there are those scenarios where even when you do everything right, life will still screw you over. And it's good to see somebody like Al, who stands in the face of failure and stands proud. Like he's not going to sit there and just be like, I give up. I'm going to be a deadbeat dad and like leave Peg and my kids to go starve or whatever. Yeah. He loves us. And I miss that. I miss that about family. Like, we don't want family in media anymore, according to, who's writing.
Oh yeah. Well, again, that's part of the narrative. We know with the World Economic Forum and stuff that they're pushing, things that they said literally on stage that everyone could hear and see, and all this crap. They said, like, again, they don't care about family. They believe in technocracy. They believe in all this weird shit. To them, there is no God. They are the gods. They literally said that on stage, and they want to destroy the family home. I mean, and that's part of it. Why do you think they push so hard on some of the stuff that they're doing? Because I remember back I would say back in the day, you remember like when they started having these movements and stuff. Okay, fine. Whatever sexuality you like, great, whatever. It doesn't matter. But don't push it on the kids. They weren't pushing it on kids back then. Now it's completely different. Now they want kids to be aware of it. Why are you dragging kids into this stuff?
Did you guys see those videos?
Hold on a sec. Just like the point that I'm making is that's adults choosing to do whatever they want in the privacy of their own homes. So that shouldn't matter at all for anything, And back in the day, you weren't seeing this. They weren't pushing it on children. They're doing it now. Because it's something else.
Intentional.
Yeah, but Chris, I'm sorry.
Well, there's videos. Yeah, there's videos. So there's a video of a couple of students in Burlington, Massachusetts, who they're like, I'm glad the pushback is finally happening. It was a freaking math class, okay? And a kid popped out his iPhone and started filming what was on, like, kids are in math class are being forced to watch this like lesbian thing where there's like a rainbow flag and two chicks make it out and stuff. And you just hear one of the kids going, why are you pushing this on kids? what does this have to do with math? And you
Yeah,
see
what
the
the
teacher,
fuck?
settle down, you'll get a Saturday detention.
Wow.
Yeah, that doesn't have anything to do with math.
0. See, now you know there's a problem. When the kids are literally saying, like, hold on, what's going on here? I'm in class to learn math. I'm not in class to learn about sexuality. What's going on?
Well, the punk rock is now the nuclear family. Like the counterculture, like the mainstream culture is now all the weird fruity shit that we grew up with as the alternate lifestyle. And now that's become pushed mainstream by all the propaganda. So like all the counterculture and all the rebellion is just like kids that are like, no, I don't want to be set up for failure. I want to have a wife and kids. I want to have the white picket fence, like a nuclear family. It's like, wow, that's punk rock now?
Leprechauns, they want their rainbow back.
Yeah.
Holy crap. No, yeah, I mean, it's true, man. It's just everything just got poisoned. But it is a narrative that they're pushing, and we know that, you know. I'm happy that the kids are fighting back. That's fun.
Yeah.
That's hilarious. You know?
Yeah. Well, there were kids destroying flags and stuff, too.
Yeah.
The one at York Catholic.
Yeah.
Which
I think that's near me.
I think
if it was in PA.
I thought they say Canada.
Oh, maybe it was Canada.
Oh, you know, that was the Muslims or the Muslim students were like, dude, like, I hate to say it, but dude, Christians got no balls, man. Like the Muslims, nobody makes fun of them in the media because they know what's coming.
Hold on, no, you know what that was? The reason why that was getting traction and why like the news was starting to cover some of that, it's because what they had in the ticker: Catholic school children destroy gay and lesbian flags.
That's like when the Armenians, remember the Armenians in California when they were protesting that shit on their kids, and the Armenians were labeled like extreme MAGA white supremacists. Yeah. I'm like, Armenians are white. What?
but that's it. It's adding on to that point that's what they're trying to do. They're trying to put religion in there to say that religion is bad because religion is intolerant towards stuff. It's bigotry. That's the message they were trying to push. Yep. Not that these kids did it like it was a good thing. They're trying to show it like it's a bad thing, and they came from a religious school. That's the narrative that they're pushing, you know, and that's poison right there. What these people are doing, it's propaganda. They're trying to twist this shit. Look, the kids don't want it in the schools, so don't put it in the schools. The parents don't want it in the schools, so why are you putting it in there? It's because it's just shit that's run by the government. It's what they're doing. It's the narrative that they want to push. Here's the other funny thing I saw. It's a slight pivot. I can't exactly talk about it directly, but did anyone see what's going on with Joe Rogan?
Yes. No. $100,000, dude?
Yeah. There is, what was that guy's name? Peter Hotez or something like that?
Yeah, the doctor.
This so-called professional, whatever. This guy's been on multiple news outlets. Again, hardcore, crazy, lefty channels and all that stuff. And the whole thing he was pushing was that, you know, stay indoors, take all your shots. The sun is bad for you. You know, everything that'll make you, you know, more sick. That they prove later on makes you more sick, right? So, and again, and that's something that the CDC had stated as well. There's proof of it now. Rochelle, what the hell's her last name? Walensky or whatever. She was being berated in front of Congress, and you know all that stuff. And she's smiling, all smug in their face, all of them. But it's that same shit. And this doctor, he's pushing all those crazy. He was pushing all these crazy views. And no, that's what it is. So now knowing that all the facts are out there. The CDC themselves stated the facts and what it does and the myocarditis and all that stuff, that they said yes, because enough time went by and they can't get in trouble now. She said, no, it's true. But you know what? You still got to get them. You still got to get them? Okay, so you have RFK, who he laid out the facts. And he has, again, he's gone to court multiple times. He's got books on this stuff. I don't think he's even lost a court case regarding that type of stuff because he's been fighting for the kids and all this. Well, he's been on Joe Rogan a couple of times, and that crazy doctor, this Peter Hotez or whatever the hell his name is, he's calling Joe Rogan it's more disinformation and that RFK needs to be canceled completely. They already kicked him off of Facebook. They're trying to limit everything. They don't want the man to speak. Now, I don't care if you're left, right, center, whatever. They're refusing this guy, and he's one of the candidates who's running for president. That means he should be able to speak. People should hear his views, and that way they could decide on their own. They're not making this fair. They're trying to stifle him. They don't want him to speak. And it's funny because Joe Rogan goes, "Oh yeah, well if you have proof, why don't you show us the proof? Why don't you come on and have a debate between RFK on my channel?" He goes, "And I'll give $100,000 to whatever charity you want. You pick the charity. I'll give $100,000. Come on here and debate him." And he refused. Then there's a list of other people who started donating money, including what's his name, Tate, the one that they falsely threw in jail for a while. $500,000 he put up. There's another guy put up $250,000. We have like I think what's it up to? It's over $1.5 million is raised for charity. Now this is for charity for this guy to get on there. There's Peter Hotez versus RFK Jr. to have a debate with facts on both of their views. So one guy believes it and has his views, and the other one, okay, come on, he's still refusing. Why?
Because they can't control the narrative. I mean, one of the heated discussions I had with my mother today at our Father's Day event was the fact that she goes, I don't know, it's really hard to watch the news now because you can't really tell what's correct and what's fake because of AI images and imitating voices and stuff. I'm like, that's really, really true, Mom. You really have to go to the actual source to see that happen. And then 3 seconds later, but then Donald Trump and this and Donald Trump and that, like, Mom, that didn't happen. Yes, it did. 3 seconds ago, you said everything else is fake.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, that's doublethink. That's Marxist brainwashing.
Yeah, it is. It absolutely is.
Yeah, it's ideological subversion. Like you can't unbrainwash people like that either. Like as Yuri Bezmenov said, you can take them to the concentration camps and show them the fruits of what's to come, and they still won't know until the moment they're put up in the ditch, with a firing squad. And it's so sad.
My mom was all about, Trump is the closest thing to, the guy who used to lead the Germans, and he's the most communist. I'm like, hang on a second, Mom. The successful rich businessman is a communist.
Well, how's this one? Like, I hate it. Like, I hate politicians. Like, I trust them about as far as I could kick them up a flight of stairs. And like, I was never really a fan of Trump. I was like, whatever. It's just some loudmouth blowhard that was on that reality show or whatever. But they made me like him, and I hate them for that because all of the shit that the media started, like it was like so disproportionate, the amount of hatred levied at this guy. I'm like, oh my God, this guy's the Antichrist. What the hell's going on? And then I started looking into all these claims, and I was like, oh my God, they're lying. Why are they lying? Like, this is weird.
You'd even see clips of like the full thing and be like, you never said that. Like you find evidence to the contrary of what they're pushing too, and it's like any right person that just puts a little effort in and does some research, you can find the truth.
Yeah, and that's
like I was saying earlier. It's like I was saying earlier. The thing with my old man, he used to get so mad at me, not voting and whatever. But like, I always viewed it like kind of like it's like choosing a foot to get kicked in the nuts with, man. And the stuff. And my mom was the same up there with Tina's. everything was Trump. It was like the way she would say it was like, oh God, like if she could spit fire when she said it, it's like, Trump this, and it's like, God, Ma, like everything with a letter T and that's orange, you want to like tear it to shreds. What's wrong with you? Like,
he's so racist. He's so racist. He's so oh God, the word just
he
left my
made
head.
Peace in the Middle East. Something that they said was impossible to do. How is he racist?
Oh, how about this? As a Korean person, he walked through the DMZ and went into North Korea, where he could have been sniped instantly. Okay.
Yep.
The balls on this guy to try to get a peace deal. Yeah.
Yep.
Like that. He's got my. I'm sorry, but like all the negative press spin isn't gonna counteract what he did.
But you know what it was? What set them off? Why they went so hard on him? It's because he called out during the debate with Jeb Bush. He called them out. There were no weapons of mass destruction, and they knew it. When he said that, he sealed his fate, that he was going to be deemed the enemy no matter what. That's when they all lost their shit on him. And that's when they started saying that, oh, you think you're going to screw with us and our government? Okay. What did Schumer say? There's 12 ways from Sunday that they could make you suffer and all this crap. And they did. They made up all these stories. isn't it funny how all the PP tapes and all this other weird shit, they had no proof of it, and then they proved that it was all disinformation and it all came from a certain camp, you know, the Hillary camp and all that stuff.
Yep.
And what happened? She didn't get punished at all. Nothing.
Nope.
These people now, she's got a hat making fun of everybody. But what about her emails or something?
Destroyed hard drives with hammers and stuff. Like,
yeah.
Why would you do that? When they're looking.
She burned down half of her house trying to destroy her computer servers.
Yeah. And like that within itself would have been probable like motive to like to move for, you know, for a case where you're like deliberately destroying evidence.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's the same as when a cop's trying to pull you over for smoking weed or whatever, or doing drugs, and you huck them out the car window. Like, yeah, the cops saw you do that. Like, you're going to get arrested now. What did you throw out the window?
Or like on Juneteenth, when drug dealers say, "Hey, take all this." He's like, "Okay, it's enough to kill 60 men." I can't breathe. Oh my God! The narrative that they spin is ridiculous. It truly is.
Yep.
It's like they really think that everyone just has their hands over their eyes. It's just most people, they don't know what to do. They don't know what to say. They don't know what they should be doing. How do you fight this? How do you fight it when you have, again, like they're laughing in your face in the courts? There was something else that happened. What's his name? Garland, Merrick Garland. He let another convicted, someone who did horrible, heinous, the worst things to handicapped children. And the judge and all the lawyers, they wanted to prosecute this guy and throw him away. And Merrick Garland said no and let him out.
Oh yeah. Well, look what they did to the Marine who stopped that crazy black homeless guy, the one that was like threatening violence and everything, that had a rap sheet that was like 5 pages long or whatever, and they, you know, threw the book at him.
Because keep in mind, it wasn't just the Marine, Chris. There was two guys. It was a Marine and another guy. They only singled out the Marine, and the other guy was black.
That's nothing. Yeah. There's a Green Beret who helped write some of these laws and stuff, and he's got info on the Bidens that he talked about. They arrested him, and now they're trying to throw the book at him. And it's like even that one thing that he helped write, he goes, well, it contradicts. You can't prosecute me on that, and they're still trying to flip it on him as well on that. It's ridiculous. So people who save the country, people who don't want to see this corruption, they try to speak out, and now they're getting busted. So this puts more fear into everyone else. This is
how many indictments is Trump on now? Like, this is like the third or fourth. Like, they're going to keep doing this. Is election interference. Like, even if you're not a Republican.
Of course it is. Of course it is. That's what they said. It's all unconstitutional. The second that they say he's arrested, because they're trying to push for it, all they need is he needs to be guilty on one charge, and he's charged for like 37 counts or something. Yep. All they need is one to stick, or you know, be corrupted.
Well, nothing will stick. No, nothing is going to stick. This is all a distraction to disrupt his campaign.
I know it won't happen, but wouldn't it be amazing if he was elected president from behind bars?
Nelson Mandela was.
Exactly.
This is madness. Well, that's what they want. They want him behind bars so that he can't run. That was the whole point of this. That's what they want. You know, because it's right now he's the only one that could win, whether you like him or not. He's the only one who could win at this point. You know, and it's insane what they did. They destroyed this system completely. I mean, now he finally came around to it. He finally said it. He finally said that he's switching his view on the shots and all that crap. But you know, it feels like it's too late with a lot of it. You know, I don't know. We literally have, again. You got the current one right now. He's got these papers everywhere.
Yep.
Way worse, way more illegal. And he wasn't even president when he had them. So that alone, the possession of having those, he should have been thrown in jail.
But that's okay because he gave them back when
the
government asked for it.
Yeah, I shoplifted. Here, my bad.
Exactly. And I said, okay, then what about, you know, Hillary's 30,000 emails? Oh, well, that was false. That was fake news. I'm like, okay.
Yeah, you can't argue. They're brainwashed. Like,
of course they are.
Or you're doing a whataboutism, but then when you do the same thing.
Yeah, everything is Trump this, Trump that.
Yeah.
You know what's hilarious? It's how they all just shut up when it came to the Hunter Biden stuff, because everyone and their mother saw this. Everybody.
Right.
You can't.
I heard whataboutisms. I heard. Well, yeah, but like you know that Trump's kids are doing bad shit too. They're all like CEOs and making money at companies that his presidential campaign influenced and blah blah blah. I'm like, really? Which ones? Can you tell me?
Yeah, break it down. It's the same thing when you ask when they go, "Oh yeah, Trump finally they're getting him for all his crimes." Okay, name the crimes he committed. Name them.
Exactly.
They can't answer. And it's funny because a couple of times I know like Gutfeld, he used to do that. He used to show it. They did the ones in the street, and then it's okay. So what are the crimes he's been charged with? I don't want to answer that right now, or I got to get going. That's a stupid question. He did so many illegal things. Okay, name one. They can't because they're brainwashed. They're mentally challenged. Do research. Go out there. Show me. Because that's what happened. I know. What's her name? That Judith Rose. She was someone who was so hardcore left. She fought with all this stuff. Then she started looking into it more, and she was like, "Wait a minute, they're lying. Wait, that's hypocrisy. That didn't happen." And then she ended up turning completely. And by that second time, she voted for him from being hell-bent against him, wearing masks and trying to help destroy cities as well for the left. She completely went the other way. Completely. Why? Because she took her glasses off for a minute and she went, wait a minute, this doesn't look right. Did her research and found every single point that they tried to attack him on was all false. And then she found worse shit on the Democrats and she flipped the script. And she's like,
the thing is, like, the reason why the Republicans are losing is because we're not brainwashed. Like, we're willing to clean house on, call out the bad shit in our own party. Of course. Hell, most of the Republicans are garbage uniparty, rhinos anyways. But like, there are times that we've criticized Trump pretty badly. Like, dude, you had all this time. Why didn't you do this? Why didn't you do that? You're just as bad as them at this. Like, you don't get that from brainwashed zealots. Like, if we were brainwashed zealots, then we'd be like unquestionable. Like, the dear leader cannot be questioned. Everything he does is fine. And the only reason why he does failures is because the Democrats are doing it. No, but the Democrats don't have that because they're all brainwashed zealots. There's literally no introspection there. You could face them with proof and be like, here, take a look at this. And then all of a sudden the whataboutisms start. Oh, yeah, well, Trump did. We're not talking about him. We're talking about this. Yeah.
Well, that's it. You're right. Frankie calls them butt trumpets. But Trump.
Yeah. British slang, Trump means fart. So.
Yeah.
Oh, that is funny.
Dude, it's ridiculous. It's truly ridiculous. And then, when stuff comes to pass, when the conspiracy theories in 3 days turn into facts, then they're just quiet. They don't answer. They don't respond.
Mm-hmm.
They try to again.
He's been out of office for 3 fucking years. I mean, come on. How long are you going to blame a guy that hasn't even been running the country for 3 years?
Who during the time he was in, there was no wars, and he made peace in countries that were at each other's throats for centuries. He's the only one that actually went to North Korea. No other president has done that. None. And he said he's not so bad. And he's taking his side. Excuse me, you morons.
Well, now you know why he had to go, right? That's why he had to go. Yeah.
Well, hold on a second. I mean, do you want your president to antagonize someone who is working on nuclear weapons and stuff, or do you want him to be cool with that president? So it's like, I won't attack. I won't try to destroy the world.
Well, it's from a business perspective. How are you going to have customers if you piss them off? Like, you're trying to do a business arrangement with people. You don't want to be enemies with them.
Right. Like, how are we supposed to live as human beings if you can't go outside the door because it's radioactive?
Yeah.
How about some common sense?
Well, and what are we going to brute force North Korea into democracy? That's never going to happen.
No, of course not. Of course not.
But if we can friendly, diplomatically get in there.
Yeah. Well, and it's funny too. Like I said, you have people who are completely, it's one side or the other, and it's not even it. That's why more people are opening up their eyes to all this shit. They know that he didn't do all good. The shit that he was doing with the shots and everything. Everyone knows this stuff. Mm-hmm. Nobody's perfect, but was he better? Hell yeah. Was he bringing business back to America? You bet. I remember there was a documentary that they did on the Midwest, how Obama's regime completely destroyed it. You had massive towns that were just they looked like ghost towns. People were starving. They had to move to other places. There was no work anywhere. People didn't even have any money to go to a doctor or a dentist or anything. And when Trump came in, he saved those cities. He saved those towns. He was bringing business back. Then what happens? We get old Poopy Pants there. On day one, he signs every bill to reverse all the policies, flooded our country again, destroyed the freaking walls completely. Drugs, everything is shot through the roof. There's vending machines for drugs, for crack pipes, for needles in New York, California, and another state.
We all bought them. We paid for them.
Yeah, we paid.
I gotta pay for my insulin.
But on top of all that, why are you putting those in there?
How's that helping get them off drugs?
Well, it's for safe space, so that it's less dangerous. Yeah, you know what's also less dangerous? Telling them not to do drugs, not facilitating their bad habits.
Right. How about setting up a program to save these people and to switch their minds and get counseling and stuff? And there's so many different ways of going about it. But no, you know what? We'll give them crack pipes and meth pipes. That makes more sense.
Injection sites.
Yeah.
We don't want the needles on the beaches. We'll have our own facilitated injection sites so the junkies can do it all in one spot. Yeah. Then you lock all the doors and set the building on fire.
Well, here's the thing, and to that
let
point,
them smoke crack.
Right. I mean, that's nice to know what I was
Soviet Russia, crack smoke you.
Crack smoke you.
I was thinking decon, but the fireway's a lot easier and cleaner.
Well, I was going to say, hold on a second. I was going to say that there's a mafia guy who he served his time and everything, and he's got his own YouTube channel and all this, and he's worked for the good guys as well. His name's Michael Francesi, and this guy, he went off on this stuff, and he goes, "This is the funny thing about all of it." He goes, "I could prove to you because the government, their thing is saying, well, if we give them clean needles, they'll stop doing it, or if they're gonna do it, they won't die from the bacteria and the dirty needles and all this." And he goes, "Excuse me." He goes, "Well, we'll break it down to OTB, off-track betting. Our government wanted to make that legal, and they go, we're going to put the bookies out of business." And they said to him, "We're going to put you out of business." And he went, "Oh yeah, that's funny." He goes, "Why are you laughing?" And Michael goes, "You're going to make our business better." And he's like, "How's that?" "Because these degenerates are going to go in there into the off-track betting now that it's done through the government, but you got to pay cash. You can't put credit down. So they're going to blow all their money, and then they're going to come to us, the bookkeepers, and we're going to make even more money." And sure enough, that's what happened. And then guess what? Off-track betting went out of business. It's the same situation. He goes, "You're giving these junkies what they want, and they're going to spend more money, and things are going to get worse. It's not going to get better."
That's because it's intentional.
Of course.
Did you ever read about the Opium Wars?
No.
Do you know anything about that? So back in the day when the British were actually an empire instead of what they've become, a Middle Eastern conquered caliphate, they actually were trying to take over China. And what they did was they poisoned the country with opium. They got a shit ton of the farmers and everybody addicted to opium, and they had to open all these opium dens where these guys would just be stoned off their ass. And clearly they're a bunch of junkies. And they would, foster this throughout the country. And this is pre-CCP, so pre-communist China. So they didn't have the stranglehold that they have now. But they were like, dude, we're trying to, we can't fight back when the British are basically, they're not all opium junkies, and they've got their ships in our harbors, lighting up our cities. And we can't do anything about it because all of our military fighting age men are all freaking junkies on opium. So this what they did was they ordered all of the opium dens to be boarded up, and they just burned them all down. And after about the third or fourth time that happened, and all the the junkies died, they're like, "Fine, you want to smoke opium? It's a roll of the dice whether you're going to come out of that. Because when you're stoned on opium, you're helpless. It's like being on heroin. You're out. You're basically like a baby. So they're basically like, fine, you're going to render yourself that state. Well, don't be surprised when we board you up and burn you down. So maybe it wouldn't be a good idea to do that, because being nice about it didn't do anything. So they had to take drastic measures. And guess what? They actually defeated the British in many regards. Like they fought back. That's how they were able to. And what we're seeing today with the fentanyl and all these other things, China learned from the British how to do this, to how this was done to them. They studied it, and now they're doing it to us.
Oh yeah.
And our country is so bribed, like our government is so compromised that all of these well-intentioned things, like, dude, in what world do you want to walk your kid to school and step on a heroin needle that's got HIV on it?
Yeah. Did you see California?
Or camps of homeless people. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, nobody
These
wants
kids,
that.
They're getting off the buses going to and from school, and you have them just lined up, all the homeless people, not just defecating in the street, but they're sitting there shooting up in front of kids.
Yep.
There's one guy, he was on the news about it too, and he was filming. He was, bro, what are you doing? There's children walking by. And you're putting that junk into your veins? And you could see, like, the one who was shooting up, you could see the look in his face of, like, wow, I am a piece of shit. Like, you could see that. You could see it. But he couldn't help himself. That is, he's completely dependent on that junk. Because they did it. They
foster it.
Yeah, they push people to do it. That's why.
Well, there was a homeless guy. Oh, sorry.
No, I was saying that. Yeah, they're turning America into The Walking Dead. Seriously.
No, there's a homeless guy they interviewed in Venice Beach who was saying that the government is basically paying him to be homeless, and he's like, I'm not a minority case here. A lot of these people are incentivized to just stay homeless so they can get government hand-me-downs or hand-me-downs, or handouts, or and it's. We are watching the deliberate destruction of our country from within. Like, we don't have to worry about a foreign invasion. It's already here. Like, there's never going to be ships landing in our harbor, lighting up our cities, like what happened to China. Yeah. They don't need to do that. They'll just have us defeat ourselves.
And that's the thing, right? Doing that's the show. That's the show for the world, and to because again, most wars, let's face it, over time, that's what it is. It's just these people in the position that they are of power. They're doing it to thin the herd, to make it look like, there's good against bad. When it comes down to it, there doesn't have to be any of those wars. There shouldn't have been any of those wars. It was nonsense to control people more and to put all these taxes on us and to beat us down. They don't want a society of free thinking people. They want to be able to govern and control over the masses. And then when the masses get too big, they want to thin out that herd. That's what it looks like. They've done it throughout history, and I mean, it's shown. That's why they keep changing history books. That's why they keep changing shit. They want to change the narrative so that people don't really see what's going on, and to keep them dumb, keep them blind, keep talking about your superhero movies and your TV shows and all this stuff. And don't get me wrong, we need that escapism, but then at the same time, they're poisoning that escapism so that you're starting to be brainwashed by it, and like that's the point. That's why I was getting angry on Friday and a little bit before, because it's like, be aware of what's going on. I have a friend who he despises what they've been doing, how they hurt children and everything, but he's like that junkie with the needle. He can't help it. He grew up on this stuff. That was his escapism. So no matter what they put out, he consumes it. He consumes it with glee on his face. And he knows that they change the story. Questions. Exactly. And it's heartbreaking to see that shit because he's aware of what they are. He knows the people making these movies are scumbags and the evil shit that they've done as well. And it's like, well, I'm going to go see it. You're going to go see it. It's like, wow. Don't even talk to me about it because like I don't want to hear it because it's sick. It's you're helping them. You're helping them make more shit like this. Because that's the thing. When they're not making the money that they thought they were going to make, then they start to panic. Then they have to change things back a little bit. It's that push and pull thing. Because look what happened now with Disney. Disney's trying to sell off Star Wars because they destroyed it so miserably, and everyone's like, all right, we're done. We are done with this shit. They said the last season of The Mandalorian did garbage. Nobody wants any more movies from them. The game that they did, weak as shit. Like, it's like, it's sad. The whole thing is sad. Now they're trying to get their
Jedi
money back.
Survivor was pretty, at least the ending was pretty anticlimactic compared to the first one.
Yeah. I figured, because the first one you had more involvement from Lucasfilm. Everybody who worked on that, they went to the ranch and they got every piece of information that they could. That's why those worlds were so good. That's why the story was tight. Things felt more like, old school Star Wars.
You only had like 3 planets in this one compared to the last one.
Well, that sucks.
Yeah.
Jeez. Was it a short game on top of it?
Kind of. I think I beat it in because I was putting in some long, so like maybe 30 hours, 20 to 30 hours.
Jeez. And then that's it. You don't even want to play it anymore.
Yeah. Well, like part of the game is like completely bugged too. You have this lady you can go to get bounties and stuff, and she gives you like your first credit for it, and then you can buy something in the store that she has for it, and then there's like a hollow tech game or whatever you can play and get another credit, but you can't actually get any of the bounties from her to go find people to kill to get those credits. So there's like shots for duelists in there, and then things for BD to like hack different robots that you can use them to fight against other enemies, and you can't get any of those because that thing is completely bugged and they haven't even patched it yet.
Yeah.
I think Soul Assassin nailed it.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, it's he said the first game was left alone from the studio and the higher ups, but after the IT's it's
you can see
the
it.
higher ups got involved. But that's the thing too.
Yep.
That's what happens. That's why all those glitches are there, because then they make changes at the last minute and to mess.
Well, not
things
even
up
that. There's like you have the dick monster alien, and then the fucking one dude that are in a relationship, and then you even have
dick monster alien.
The mechanic from what was it? The Rise of Skywalker. He's like in a relationship with a dude. And then there's another relationship with.
No, not Babu Frick.
Not Babu Frick, but the weird. I showed it on the one stream that we were.
It looks like a giant dick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's an alien that has a Jamaican accent, and she's in a relationship with this black chick.
See what I mean?
Comment up for free reading.
And it's like, why do these characters have like these accents? Like, it's supposed to be in a galaxy far, far away. Like, they wouldn't have these like even the bounty hunter chick has like a thick Australian accent. It's like, what the fuck? This isn't
Jesus.
Like, why would they have this? Like, it makes no sense.
Go get your money back. Tree Rock Creations. He says that at the fall of Rome, the government gave people entertainment and food to control them, and that's exactly it.
Sadly, we're not even getting good entertainment though. Like,
or good food.
Our bread and circuses is garbage.
Mm-hmm. It's crazy, man. Yeah.
Let's watch rainbows and drag queens on Blue's Clues.
It's crazy, man. It's crazy, and Tony's been dropping down some awesome points and facts as well. And it's sad. It's sad to see all this stuff, and that's what they want. They want these small towns. They want them to be gone. All jobs go back overseas. Got to make China happier again. It's this is all about money and corruption, and it's disgusting.
Oh yeah,
And like you said, there isn't an invasion like you think they're going to storm the beaches, and none of that's happened. They've already infiltrated and they're destroying. Yeah. And most people, they're oblivious to it. As long as they still have their phones and their distractions, they're content. They don't care. Well, it doesn't affect me. Well, it doesn't affect me until it affects them, and then they scream and they don't know what to do.
They want a distraction from the quiet horror that we all live deep down inside. Every guy, especially the guys in their 40s and 50s, are dreading the day when they get laid off and they become financially unviable and unemployable.
Mm-hmm.
Because ageism is a real thing. It's the last discrimination that's fully supported that nobody admits to. And when you're in your 60s or 70s trying to find work because you got laid off of that company that you've been working there for 20 plus years, well, guess what? Nobody's going to hire your ass. You're bagging groceries.
Yeah.
You got a doctor's degree, a doctorate, you got freaking a master's degree. I hope you put away a lot of that money. Hope you didn't enjoy your life while it was worth living. Now you're going to have to, unless you saved up and didn't live life when you were able to, you're going to be in for a rude awakening. And that's a fate that we all face. And unfortunately, that's what the entertainment is designed. It's the Novocaine to dull that. It's to distract us from what's coming.
Yeah, it is. It really is. Nelson, what's up, man? He's hanging with his woman tonight. Cool. Yeah.
Hey.
Watch when you can. But yeah, man. Hope you're having a good night, brother. Yeah, dude. I mean, it's crazy, but we're not trying to make anything go down. But it's like Frankie said earlier. I think Al's face says it all.
Yeah. God, I missed that show, man.
Yeah, because it's
Is there any way to watch it now? Because I haven't watched it. I've seen bits and pieces of it growing up.
You've never seen it from? Oh, dude.
Yeah, I never seen all of it.
Oh yeah, I mean those seasons just kept getting crazy and crazy. They were awesome. But
no,
yeah,
dude, my mom had a Frank Sinatra album, and I heard "Love and Marriage" long before I saw, that Married with Children, and I was like, "Oh, that's a Frank Sinatra show." That's what I thought it was when I was like a really young kid.
That's funny.
Yeah, apparently it's on Hulu and Peacock, so I'll have to check it out.
Nice. Yeah, I know that they're going after some episodes of series, so
yeah, they're gonna cleanse it.
Yeah, they're trying to. I wish I could get my hands on it. I don't think they ever put it on Blu-ray. I think they only had it on DVD.
Yeah, I have All in the Family, a physical, the entire box set, the entire series.
Oh, nice.
And here's the thing is I haven't even pulled it out of the plastic. I'm only keeping it so that when that shit does get edited by the new, the what is it, the Ministry of Truth? I'll have the original version. It's kind of like my dictionaries. I have a physical dictionary so that I can show what actual definitions are instead of what Marxists have redefined them as.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, there ain't nothing wrong with having those big collectible sets. But I've got the same one, Chris.
Oh, nice. Yeah, the big white box.
See Chris Fisk out there on the Waterworld boat rowing. Got his little boat in his box in his lap.
I'll be honest, I forget what color the box is. I know where I wound up finding it, though, because they didn't have it in most of the other normal stores. I went to that shit-ass Wally World and found it there. For as garbage as Walmart is, usually those big box sets, you can find almost anything you're looking for.
Yeah, you can.
Old TV shows.
Yep. I got my dad Airwolf years ago.
Oh wow.
Michael Vincent.
Yep, yeah. I got that for him for Christmas one year.
Yeah, because here's the thing, folks. Take a look at these stores. There's barely any sections for DVDs, Blu-rays, or anything anymore. I know, like the two Best Buys that are near me, they don't have like any sections anymore. One has like a couple of islands. The other one, it's just like when you go to checkout, it's just one spot. That's it.
Our Best Buy has like maybe two really small aisles. They're like half aisles, and then they have like the little island things, but some of that has games on it too. And then obviously they have the new release like island like closer to the front of the store.
Wow. I know, like my Target, it's a super Target, and they just have an end cap and on either side. That's it. And it's like, what the hell? It's whatever came out new that week and a couple of other things basically, and that's it.
I tell you what was kind of funny, Vinny, going into some of these Targets, watching the ever expanding vinyl record aisle almost start to eclipse the DVD aisle.
That's insane. Holy crap. I don't know. Like I said, they're destroying all of our media and entertainment. The stuff that was good that people want, now you can't even get your hands on it. It's like, but that's what they want. They want to push people. Just shop online. We're gonna close all the brick and mortar stores, and get ready for your social credit score on your phone and all that bullshit. They're pushing it all over Europe. They're pushing it everywhere, and people are like, huh, what, huh, what? Oh.
By the time it happens. By the time these people take notice, it'll be too late and nothing can be done about it.
Yeah. Oh, get ready for the next tax season is going to be a fucking nightmare.
Oh my God. Yeah, I'm terrified.
We all are. Tina, what were you saying?
I was going to say the social credit score is going to kill me because I can't keep my damn mouth shut. So.
Yeah. Well, and again, it's going to be comply. Oh, did you get your booster this week? Oh, you didn't get your booster. Well, you don't eat. Not until you get it. You're not gonna have a job now. We know they did it in a couple of countries already. One of our friends on 2 weeks ago, Marinus, he was in the hospital. They know what was wrong with his blood, I mean, luckily this past Friday he gave us a little update. He says things looked okay there, but he has to do an MRI. So like we're still sending prayers out his way, but he was forced to take the thing he didn't want to take. And if he didn't, he would have lost everything. So this is what they did to them. And I have cousins and other family members overseas, same deal. They would have lost everything had they not been, taking that stuff. What's going on in France? It's not about retirement, the 2 years for retirement. It's about what they're pushing on them. And the people were fighting back. This is why the news, they weren't covering it. And the ones who did cover it, well, we got to take them off the board. And that's basically what they did all around. I don't know if anyone's been watching, but Tucker, from pulling in around 3 to 4 million, 5 million views a night, depending on what his stories were, now he's pulling in, what is he up to? Like 150 million total for the ones that he put out. He's exploded on Twitter.
And they're trying to gag him.
Oh, yeah. They're trying to say, oh, you broke the contract, and we're going to sue you, and you're not allowed to do anything. He goes, the contract states if I go to another cable outlet, Twitter isn't cable. He goes, you want your money back? He goes, I'll break my contract. You can take your money back. I don't care.
Well, not only that, but it is imperative for them to get that guy off the air for the election cycle. So what's going to happen is we're either going to see we're going to start seeing him getting indicted, and he'll be arrested and thrown in jail, just like the Orange Man, or they're going to start attacking Twitter, and we're going to start seeing mysterious outages and like things working really weird.
They started.
Sabotage.
They did start that. Look, there's one woman. She showed because she had made something along the lines about something that Big Pharma didn't like, and you watched her numbers go from like what was it, 20,000 views, 28,000 views, and it dropped down to 1 in seconds. She filmed it. So she goes, oh, how did that happen? And they go, oh, well, it's Jack Dorsey stuff that's still in there, It's like, whoa, what are you people talking about? We know what's going on. And a lot of people are being silent.
This just in, Vinny. Thanks to Monotony, we now know that Fox News is too busy covering glory holes.
Yeah, right? Holy crap. We know that Lindsey Graham, he frequents them. What a blowhard. But I was going to say, James Woods, he put it out too. He goes, how come everything, he added Elon Musk on that. He goes, how come everything, even innocuous, that I'm putting out there has nothing to do with politics is all being shadow banned, or they have some kind of warning filter on them. It's just, it's getting ridiculous. They still want to do this. They're doing everything possible to stop, any kind of truth getting out. It's their narrative only. And it's sad. It's really sad. What the hell did you put in that group? Jesus. The stuff that's in the lab. This is what I'm saying. There is a giant book that was printed. I heard someone talking about this, the guy who actually he's going to court about the whole thing. And they said they redacted all of the genitals. But everything else is in there. And it is the most heinous, evil. Arrest isn't enough for that crime family. Being arrested is not enough for the shit that they did. I don't know. I can't talk the way I want to talk.
I know. So frustrating.
It's so frustrating. We'll go back for a second to the entertainment side of things. Look at Mel Gibson. Look at all the good this guy's doing right now, and almost no one is talking about it in any of our spheres.
Yeah, I had no idea how much of a mensch he was when he helped out, Robert Downey Jr. Mm-hmm. Like that was amazing to hear. That's like these are like those Trump stories you hear that actually turn out to be true, and you're like, wait, what? Like when he put up what's her face in his hotel free of charge after her family was taken out. It was a singer, like a contestant on one of those America's Got Talent shows.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and then he supposedly it's like these weird like legend stories about how he like started. He gave like people weren't getting loans from the banks, and he ended up like people like he actually gave loans to these people who weren't getting any loans, and he ended up not even collecting any of the interest. He just like, give me a check with X percentage, when your business takes off, and they handed him the check and he ripped it up.
Yeah. There was a woman. It was a few people,
Yeah,
but I remember there was one story of a woman who was a maid at one of the hotels, and she lost everything. And she told him like she doesn't know what she's gonna do, and he helped out the family in a massive way. But again, like you said, the good doesn't really get talked about or not enough. And look what Mel did. Mel literally, he's helping that movie to get out there, The Sound of Freedom, where again, it's the one that Hollywood's trying to prevent to get out. And they shelved it for 4 or 5 years because they said no one should be seeing this or whatever. Everyone should be seeing that movie. And luckily, it is selling out. It's like a pay it forward program that they have on it too. If you don't have the money to see it, or someone else bought a ticket, you could get a free ticket if you go to their website. I believe it was angel.com. I showed it on 2 of my streams. But because they want people to know. They want people to see. It's heartbreaking, but at the same time, it's something that people should see. Know what's out there. Know what's going on. He also found a list of girls who needed rescuing. And the real life dude that movie's based on, Tim Ballard, he had a list and he was going overseas. Mel called him up and said, dude, I heard you going over there. Well, we found a bunch of people too. Could you help get them out? Could you save these kids out of here? And he said, Mel helped them. They gave him the money for it. It's a massive operation because it's undercover stuff. They have to use, again, almost like a Hollywood production. They usually disguise themselves with, makeup or hair and everything. They have to change everything because once people catch on who he is and he's got to go to a different part of the world, the word's out. Oh, there's this American guy who's doing this and blah, blah, blah. And a lot of times he has to hire other people to help him do this. So it's a massive operation. And he ended up sending a film crew as well. And it turned into a 4-part documentary that is massive. And they expose everything, the $34 billion industry of what this is. And I think they're going to have to piggyback it off the release of this movie because 4th of July is when that movie comes out, The Sound of Freedom with Jim Caviezel. Again, this is all a true story, and it's even more disturbing in real life. They had to take certain things out. Mel did the final edit of the movie so that it got a release date because he helped with his star power and his money because they weren't going to let this movie come out, but he's doing it. So we should be sending prayers out to him as well because they're going to try to do something to this man. Because once that movie comes out and does amazing, then you have the documentary and it's going to be right on its coattails. And people are going to have to see this. People are going to be talking because you're going after kids. You better stop that shit. You better make sure the world knows so that they can save them. Because they said it. They said it in the trailer. Drugs are taken and gone, but those kids, they're flipping them 6 to 10 times each. This is disgusting. This is evil.
What do you think they're going to start with? What do you think the campaign's going to? Are they going to start with anti-Semitism? Are they going to start with him being an abusive husband? What do you think the smear campaign? Like we should be placing bets.
Yeah, we should be. Well, they tried it already, but again, he was drunk, and then it was like entrapment to what they did to him. They kept trying to beat him, and it's like he was drunk and going through a divorce or something. Like he was going through shit. So it's like, yeah, and you're gonna attack him for that? Look at all the good he did. He saved so many people. Tony said it too. Yeah, he helped Robert Downey Jr. and Shia LaBeouf. Yeah, there's a couple of people I know who helped Shia, but yeah, he's one of them. He's definitely one of them. And again, they don't like him because of his views. He's Christian or Catholic or something, and they don't like that. They don't like that he did the movie on Passion of the Christ and all that. It's crazy what these people are. It's totally crazy.
Yeah.
Hey Stig, how you doing, brother? Happy Father's Day, man.
Hey.
Hope you're doing well and you had a good day. I know you celebrated, I think, on a different month. I think you said November or something. But hey, we're in America. You're watching an American stream, so we're gonna send you those good thoughts anyway. You're a good dude.
Greetings from the future.
Yeah, it's nuts, man. It's nuts. But there's a lot of heinous shit. It's all over the world. Tree Rock, yeah. In the trailer alone, they said, yeah, those kids. They named some of the places where they could be overnight. It's insane.
You remember Bachi Bazi Boys?
No.
So in Afghanistan, they have this saying that boys are for pleasure, girls are for babies. And they basically have these little boy dancers that they dress up. And the American soldiers that were over in Afghanistan were absolutely horrified that there's these like little boys being passed around like beer.
Wow.
And they're called Bachi Bazi. And it was like I have a couple of friends that served over in Afghanistan. They were basically, they said that it was so infuriating because we had to tolerate their disgusting culture because we were in their country. But he's like, that type of stuff would have been a Jeffrey Dahmer fate, like easily. Like, it's like nothing is more demoralizing than watching things that you know are inherently wrong and being told by your superior officers, you cannot do anything or we will court-martial you.
Jesus. Oh yeah. And I know somebody who was a Green Beret who gave me one of those challenge coins as well for the stuff that I did. And, I mean, again, my heart goes out to these guys who they got to see this shit. They got to do these things, and they're being called the enemy as well if they speak out or they talk about this stuff. Sim, how you doing, brother?
Hey,
thanks
Sim.
for popping in. Happy Father's Day, man.
Oh yeah,
yeah. Sim's good people too. Yeah, dude. If you got your link for your campaign too, feel free to go ahead, drop it in, man. Yeah, dude. But yeah, all this stuff is nuts. All of it is.
And meanwhile, we can't have 24-hour Walmarts, man. What the fuck?
Yeah.
Well, man.
We used to.
I know, man.
Yeah,
I need fucking milk, dude. Like, I go through like 4 gallons.
We used to have a supermarket near me, too, that used to be 24 hours, and then they were getting the sales overnight.
Anybody notice that?
COVID happened, so.
Anybody else notice that we're like the generation of used to haves?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Things used to be better, and it's just gradually gotten worse and worse. And we're like the boiling frog, realizing it's not that bad. Yeah, dude, look at all the shit we've lost.
Mm-hmm. No, we realize that it's bad. Most other people, they're not realizing it.
Yeah, it's like you do realize your paycheck is only worth like 60% or 70 something percent or whatever,
Because you know what it is. It's a matter of time. Because right now, it's those people are comfortable. The ones who aren't saying anything or they're not noticing shit because they're comfortable. As soon as that comfort goes away, what happened? What's going on?
Exactly.
Okay.
You know what, though? I did notice something. I don't know if anybody's going to take any comfort in this. I mean, everybody by now knows about the $600 tax thing that the IRS is going to be doing to people that are selling online.
Yep.
Well, if you had actually read through the original IRS article pertaining to that, which I did originally, do you know that originally that thing was actually not going to be just for people selling? It was actually going to be for people purchasing up to $600 online, too, at one point.
Wow.
Now, I don't know what happened. I don't know who actually got in, but I went back and I just rechecked it right now, and that part of the IRS $600 bill has been removed now. So now they're only trying to hit people that are selling $600 or more, and they're saying now in a single transaction before where they were saying, throughout the year.
Yeah.
Oh,
so
I don't got pushback.
I'm assuming they must have got a lot of pushback from that because, I mean, it used to be if you sold up to like $20,000 or something like that, which I think maybe that threshold was probably a little steep. It probably should have been a little lower than that because if you're selling even $10,000 a year online sales, man, at that point you're a store.
Mm-hmm.
If you're a small store, you're still a store. Unless you're selling like a single item, like a car or something like that. And, you know what I mean? But
No, Tommy, you bring up a really good point that maybe people in independent comics, especially artists, could benefit from. That if it is that limit of $600 per transaction, maybe instead of being paid half up front or half when it's completed or a one lump sum or whatever, the eBayer or the person who's putting it through PayPal or whatever they're doing for a commission could break it up into sub $600 payments.
Right. Mm-hmm. Because the way that they have it worded now, it needs to be a transaction of $600 or more to trigger it. So,
so $5.99. So if you commission an artist for a couple grand or whatever, and you just break it out into multiple installments of $5.99, like you might be paying a little more as for the person who's commissioning.
You won't get hit on the other end.
Yeah, the person who's getting the art, that's actually doing the art, that's getting compensated for it, isn't going to get screwed over by the United States government.
Yeah.
No, because you know those pricks don't give a shit how much money you put out for it.
No,
Of course, dude. What's up, Michael Beacon? Good to see you too,
Hey.
man. And yeah, you're right, dude. You're right. I mean, I don't know. Here's the thing. Speaking on all this shit, I mean, first of all, like the ones that they hired and tried to arm and everything, there's still too many people making that kind of money, from, again, like a side business or a side hustle bit, pretty much is what that is. Because if it was like, if you did it throughout the year and it's more than 600 or whatever, then yeah, that's too idiotic on every level, and everything would be swamped to a point that everything's like, shut down or almost like paralyzed. So if they do it the other way, then they could really choose and pick and then kind of systematically like go through it all, fuck people. Because here's the other thing. When they push the digital currency, now every penny has to be accounted for, which means the tips everything's going to change, how everything's done. Waiters, waitresses, barbers, artists, at trade shows and whatnot, people like that. Anyone you got a little business, you make cupcakes, you want to sell them at certain local fairs or whatnot. You make that money. They want to know any penny that you make. It has to be accounted for so that they could tax you on it. And that's the point of doing the digital shit. A lot of people don't seem to understand that, or the younger people like, well, I don't use cash anyway. I pay for everything on my phone. They're still missing the point of what's happening and where it's going. And it is about that total control. People are missing that.
The government should know nothing about you, next to nothing about you.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's not their business.
No.
Yeah, Tony said it too.
We can thank 9/11 for that.
Yeah.
Or W.
Well, all these people, man, it's all part of the same shit.
Yeah.
They tax you for trying to leave your children any wealth that you acquired before your death. It's evil.
Yeah, I know. I was very concerned with that shit when my father passed away. But luckily, the way the laws were, and because there was so little to the estate, I didn't have to pay a damn thing, and I didn't even have to file a damn thing. And if they would have called me, I would have told them to go screw themselves. And Nuke, yeah, I know. Use cash as often as you can, but here's the problem: if they have their way, they're going to eliminate cash.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's their that's
their goal.
Right now is the start of.
Yeah, that's what all these the Democrats and the Uniparty encouraging all the trash to go in and rob these brick and mortar stores. Yeah. It's to make them so that they require digital transactions, either through online only services or through like some weird like warehouse that the only way that you can access it is through your credit card information. They're getting rid of physical media. Physical money. We won't see that in another 50 years.
Yeah. Oh, you're going to get rid of it sooner than that. That's their goal. Yeah. Because once they do that, again, that means anyone who's making a living from the side or that shit that they don't have to declare, that's the point of it. Because they know a lot of people are doing a side hustle or trying, or they have certain tips
to make ends meet. Yeah,
to make ends meet. Because we cannot afford this shit. They took all of our money, all of it. Their taxes went through the fucking roof, so that they could learn to shit overseas and claim that it's for something that it's not. We know this.
Yeah.
And that certain country too, again, it's got the colors of Best Buy. That's a massive hub for human trafficking and all that stuff. Massive hub. They prove that everywhere. And that's why that guy, Tim Ballard, they have this in the documentary. Because he goes, it's amazing that Mel did that because we needed to show the proof. Because they're going to try to twist it or lie about us and possibly try to arrest him. Because they don't like that he's saving those kids. Because he goes out and he goes to Congress and he goes to these other places and he lets them all know what happened. And he goes into some really, really disturbing details about some of the kids that he saved and how scarred and messed up they are and how he's trying to get them help. Because they have like almost like a halfway house type thing set up for these kids and like adoption type things to get them with good people, to vet people properly. And to make sure that these kids are going to get the proper help they need and that they could live their normal lives and have jobs and families and do their own thing as well. and a lot of them are too scarred and broken from what happened to them, you know. And he tried. There was one documentary that one girl, she just kept breaking down. Every time she saw him, she wouldn't talk to anyone else but him because he's the one who saved her. And he felt so horrible, but he tries to explain to her, like, you know, what she needs to do and how she needs to, you know, listen to the counselors and on the stuff they have to go through the steps. This is all very traumatic, horrible, evil stuff, you know. And it's like, this is what's going on. And the governments, they have their hands over their eyes. Why? Because they're part of the problem.
Mm-hmm. They're getting a paycheck for it.
Yeah,
well,
they are.
That, and like you want to traumatize kids because traumatized adults can work. They've already been developed, but like when you mess with kids, like they're done, man. You can't repair that. Like I've seen it, not firsthand, fortunately, but like I've had friends that had this happen to them, and dude, they're fucked up. Like they have no hope for like a happy, functional relationship. They're never gonna like. A lot of them, I'm surprised, didn't just, you know, Minecraft themselves.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Well, it's just weird. We've gone to a world where we're even having that kind of a conversation. We used to protect the children. You used to couldn't have a fucking Viagra commercial until after 10 o'clock at night, and now there's shit going on.
Yeah, now they have the AIDS prep on wrestling.
Castle these motherfuckers, man. It's like, this is not okay. You know, this is not okay. Hit the button,
what happened to childhood? Like, remember, like when we were kids, like Gen Xers, dude, we had it the best. We had the drinking from the garden hose. We had come home when the street lights come on. None of the scary shit that our media was pushing. You know, it wasn't as bad. We had a childhood, and now you look at the shit that like these Zoomers and these millennials have to some degree, and they're like introduced to porn at like 5 years old. And like they got teachers telling them about like sodomy and butt sex and shit. And
well,
it's like,
look at those stupid parades, the ones that they're pulling this whole month for this pride bullshit.
The fetish crap.
It's not just fetish. They have their junk naked in front of children's faces. They're dry humping each other. They're whipping each other on these floors, and they're saying, "Oh, this is family friendly."
Like dogs.
What the fuck is family friendly about any of that?
Yeah,
nothing. Zero. It's pornography. And it's disgusting what they did.
Yeah, there's gross.
There's footage of that stuff. I know Jones shows that shit all the time too. This is why they don't want these people to get out there to talk or any of that stuff. His views have gone through the roof. He's been told too. They tried to get him. Deep State tried to get him because they go, people listen to you, and you know what's going on. It's just like, why don't you make money off of this stuff? And he's like, you guys are evil. Stay the hell away from me. You know, and then they try to destroy him. They've gone after him in every possible angle, every possible way. You know, and there's stuff he hasn't talked about. They've off family members of his to try to scare him and everything. They know if they go at him directly, and if they take him off the board, then he becomes a martyr. He becomes a symbol, and they don't want that either. So they try to hurt him in every other possible way. And then they want to embarrass him. They want to take all of his money. It's all this crazy shit because they're trying to dirty this guy. As like you said, what are they going to do to Mel? I don't know what they're going to do to Mel. He's got a fortune.
Coming.
Something's coming. Yeah.
Same thing that we're worried about with Trump, though, man. It's like the people that are telling us the truth, and these dumb motherfuckers just can't seem to get it over the fact that, look, man, step away for a minute. How can any of this attacking children we protected them because we didn't need them exposed to this shit, you know? And now it's right front and center. Like I was talking with my daughter today, and I'm like, fuck it, at this point, man, either she's going to a private school or she's getting home taught, you know? It's like, because the shit going on, like I saw a video on a reel where a grandpa was complaining because they were forcing the boys to wear skirts, and I'm like, could you imagine me walking in a place, because there's no way, like I'd be like, yeah. I'm like, excuse me, what? I mean, I've made counselors cry, and it was their fault, and I don't care though. It's like, look, I know it's your birthday, and I don't give a fuck because the last 3 people that had your job didn't do their job. Now it falls on you, and guess what? Now you got to deal with me.
Exactly. And King of Scoops, you're right. Yeah, they should bring that back. Bring back Stranger Danger. That's right.
Yeah.
Make sure those kids.
Remember they had to remind our parents, where the fuck are your kids?
Oh, they don't care. They don't care.
Yeah.
They give them a phone. You know, it's the same thing as the ones who used to sit the kids down. Watch your Disney cartoons on loop. I'm busy. You know, it's the same shit. But Nuke was saying that too. Yeah, he sees these ads all all over now. Like they act like the HIV is perfectly normal. Well, here's the thing. It's the damage that was done to the people who were forced to take a certain thing the last couple of years.
Yeah, they all have AIDS now.
They all have something. They have the effects of that. So that's why they're trying to make it normal. It's not normal. It's dangerous, and that's why so many of them they're susceptible to so many. But I can't get heavily into any of that shit.
That prep commercial was absolutely horrifying because I had been exposed to American advertisement for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
And when we were watching that wrestling, and all of a sudden there were these like, two gay guys cruising on a subway platform, and he's like, "I'm taking this so that my genital warts and my AIDS lesions won't show up while I'm trying to butt bang this guy." And I'm like, "What the hell, man? That's wrestling."
Yeah.
Holy hell! Right? I wouldn't be surprised if they start putting that in front of kids' cartoons. Disgusting.
Well, dude, it's wrestling. Like that's the shit I'd watch as a kid. Like,
yeah.
Literally made your sister's comment right.
I did see one commercial with a white guy. He was the white guy. He was a single guy, but it was for erectile dysfunction medication. That was the one commercial I saw. At least it was a white guy. But
but we're erectile.
Right.
I think we should neuter this conversation because any more, and I think it's going to cause a problem. I gotta reapply in another week and a half.
Right. I'm sorry.
That's okay.
I was helping again.
I always had the woman talking about her vagina, and she was the only white commercial was the white lady talking about her vag. I shit you not. I went commercial free after that. I'm like, I can't take
Amy
it.
Shamu.
Why? Yep. I saw one with an old couple, right? They were talking. They were showing an example of these twins, these two old ladies that I guess they live across the street from one another. And I forgot what the medication was for, but one was able to sleep properly and one couldn't. And the one who could sleep properly, you just see like the husband's hand come out of nowhere and you see it's an old black man. And then you cut to her. She's by herself across the street, not being able to sleep. And then like they're mocking her in the morning, like, "Oh, we slept great."
Like, I got the BBC.
Right. And he looked like he was really grinning from ear to ear. I'm like, yeah. He tired her out completely.
Yeah, he broke her forbidden door.
Yeah, she forgot to take medication that night and was able to sleep like a baby.
She can't walk right, though.
That's true. She had a walker and a cane.
Oh, man.
Holy shit. Oh, God.
What scares me the most is depending on which way things go, how weak we are as a nation, especially generations after us.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Dude, did you see that like kids react to like 90s music videos or whatever? And not a single one of the kids that they had in their like react videos looked like a heterosexual male. Like they were all like super flamboyantly gay. And it's like when I was a kid, like you kind of knew who the gay kids were, but it wasn't your business. It was like that kid's kind of a tulip or whatever. But like you didn't know because it turned out years later that some of the jocks who were like, the manly man or whatever turned out to be gay instead. And it's like, okay, that's cool. Whatever. It's just your orientation. But like now you look at these kids and it's like, dude, how are you not gay? You are acting like a very flamboyant drag queen right now.
Uh-huh. Yep. Yeah. Well, but that's part of it, right? It's that these nut job, those parents, that's what they're trying to do. They're trying to, because they think it's progressive and it's cute and it's fun. Oh, you pushed your kid into a certain lifestyle. That's not a good thing. That's a bad thing. That kid should have just whatever they wanted, whatever they think is sexy or that they're sexually attracted to. That's going to come around the time of puberty, and that's up to them to decide. When you're making your kids do that at ages 4 or 5 or even younger, or whatever.
You can't even get a tattoo or an ear piercing, but
then the state should take the kid away from you.
Well, it's like Megan Fox. She's got 3 sons that all happen to be trans because they're all dressing as girls now. I mean, that's statistically impossible.
On you.
That's true. That's true, but that's statistically impossible.
Exactly.
Monotony's right.
That's child abuse.
Gay jocks, # Ricky Starks.
Yep.
Holy crap. Yeah. It's...
Well, there's parents too taking their kids that are like that age too, like 4 or 5, to freaking those pride things too, and it's like,
Who-
why
what
are you
kid-
exposing your kids to this shit?
Yeah, what parent? Imagine like mom and dad of the year bringing like 10-year-old me to a freaking strip club. Like, here you go, your 10-year-old kid. I'm watching some freaking woman shooting ping pong balls out of her snatch for singles. And I'm like,
could you imagine Uncle Jesse, doing that shit? Either Dukes of Hazzard or even Full House, man. I don't care. We're going all the way here, brother. Like,
come on, baby
you wanna
Michelle,
get
we're going to the
nuts.
strip club.
Yeah,
How far up the rainbow can you shoot this ping pong ball?
That's right. Come on, Daisy.
Holy crap! I was about to show you guys a photo of Ricky Starks for the people who didn't know. Just Google it yourselves, because I feel like I need to clean out my browser history after just typing his name in.
Yeah,
That's how flamboyant he looks.
He's just like a Michael Jackson pose at the beginning.
Oh, it's awful. It's disgusting.
Simone.
Yeah. Anyway, but hey, if that's his thing, good for him. God bless. I really don't care.
Leave the kids alone. And we need to have some rules here. And I'm sorry, man. It's like, first, and I'm not overly religious by any means. And I don't care what religion you are. It doesn't matter. Your religion's your religion. God is God. That's fine. Let's not nitpick over the shit. Kids should not be having this happen. And as adults, how can you sit there and even think it's okay?
Yeah.
And that's it. I'm done. Like I that is my line in the sand. You come fucking with your kids and you get what you fucking deserve.
Well, exactly. They feel like they're being tolerant by exposing their kids to it. Like that's their justification. But
no,
it's
you're
like,
exposing your children.
If you're tolerant to everything, you're tolerant. You know what I mean? Like
right.
There has to be some hard line, because you can't be tolerant of everything.
Yeah, if they want to be more tolerant, why don't they leave their kids with Tom Hanks or the Brandon's family? Why don't you do that?
Jennifer Lawrence.
Yeah, show or with Kevin Spacey. Show us how liberal and open minded you are, you creeps. By the way, I'm not going to do that at all. I'm not giving money to somebody who actively went out of their way to hurt people, and specifically one of my friends to do the worst heinous shit that they could. I will not support any of that, and I will not give my money to any of that. There was a point where I would have offered to help, but that individual showed what they truly are, and nope, that's fine. Because it's
friggin' frog's gay.
That's that. But yeah, no, it's crazy shit. There's a world of just horrible, evil people, and it turns my stomach from top to bottom. That's why we try to push what we could here in a good way. I have on awesome people all the time. They know what's going on, and we should be talking about better things. Again, sorry we went down this path, but no one is talking about this stuff at all, and it's kind of crazy. It really is. Like, I said this, like, people who have big followings, if they start to pepper some of this stuff in there, they don't have to do full episodes, nothing on it. But if you start to pepper it in there, you're going to open up more eyes to people. You're not going to lose a giant audience or anything either. I know one other person who he says a little bit. Not too much, but he didn't lose anything. He's still gaining subscribers and in a good way. And how about putting your balls out a little bit? How about stepping up, being a man? No one does it anymore. Nobody does that, and it's said and it's crazy. Like I said, why was I the only person talking about Mel Gibson and the good that he did? Everyone's too busy talking about Flash and all these other dumb things that mean nothing. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, because
absolutely
it's the
ridiculous.
hot, trendy thing to talk about. And the other thing doesn't get you the views and the clicks like talking about the Flash and what's mainstream.
That's their channels, though. I mean, like, honestly, like, so say they did do an about face and they decided to change their content. Do you think they'd retain the same amount of viewers?
But this is what I'm saying is like, even if they start peppering some of it in, because I mean, we've done that and I didn't lose anything. I still gain from talking about stuff. So, like, these people who have more of a voice and more people are listening and following, pivot. And once you pivot, you show people, like, okay, look, like it's almost like they're blackpilling themselves, and like start to not just preach but live it. Show people, yeah, I'm not going to give money to that. I'm not going to do this. By doing that, you're complying. You're hopping on the bandwagon of shit, and you're going to keep these scumbags rich. Is what you're going to do. You know, it's
to the
crazy.
point you can't even afford a fucking egg.
Yeah, tell me about it. See, I stopped back in I almost stopped back in almost everything. There's only a handful of books that I'll still get because I saw most of this stuff is bullshit. A lot of people just they sharpen their knives and they're ready for you to turn around, or they use you. They kick you to the curb. It's the same shit. It's all over the place. So that's why I said, why don't you be better?
Yeah.
Step up. Do the right thing.
Language they speak, man. That's the language they speak. Money, right?
Yeah.
They also benefit from keeping the gears turning in the machine. Without that, they don't benefit. So why stop it?
Yeah, but you know what? Yeah, because it's working for them right now. But I know once they start to do that shit, where they start to eat each other, they start to feud and everything, their numbers always fluctuate, and you'll have massive drop offs. That's happened as well. And it's crazy. It is absolutely
think about
crazy.
it, Vinny. It's not going to matter when they take the USD away. None of this shit's going to matter.
Oh, I know.
And that's being an artist isn't going to fucking matter.
Yeah.
Who you bent over and didn't help
just
out
get AI to
isn't
do that
going to
shit.
matter because it's going to be only the strong survive when this.
Oh
shit
yeah,
happens.
it isn't that the funny fucking thing? Because once it does happen, like they all become obsolete, then they have no friends, they have no nothing.
Yep.
And they don't seem to understand that yet. They don't know what kind of shit that's gonna hit them. And guess what? Even if everything is fine and they die rich or whatever, guess what happens on the other side? You think you're gonna have that same what happened? No, you're gonna end up just like Michael Keaton's Batman. You're gonna end up the same freaking way. Here is a clip of the DCEU crashing and burning.
Yeah,
that's right.
But as much as that sucked,
that's
at least
ridiculous.
Cena got to nerd out and
That
feel
didn't
like
even
shit
do
back
anything.
in the day.
No, it didn't. Did you see his expression too? He looked kind of bored on his way out.
Yeah, it's like it didn't even do anything to that ship. Why haven't Batman's supposed to be the smartest detective in the fucking world? Why would he do that?
And he's mentally challenged. Like again, Kryptonians are practically indestructible. And it's don't worry, I'm gonna crash my plane into him. Kamikaze Keaton, get out of here!
That's dumb shit.
Fuck you, James Gunn. Thank you, Hans Cock.
Well, he couldn't do it anymore after Alfred passed, so we'll just
This is a guy who has a contingency plan for his contingency plan against every single superhero. Like, why the hell would he do some stupid ass shit like that?
And what is the contingency plan for you? Well, the Justice League. Yeah, exactly.
Oh, it's ridiculous, dude. It's ridiculous.
I know. Thank God we've got good creators on the panel that like to make good art and good stories and
absolutely
bad.
Yeah, man, absolutely. And by the way, Chris, let the good folks know about that. You got some good stuff out there. Let them know about your projects and what else you got going on and what they can look forward to.
Sure. You can head on over to InfiniteTaleChronicles.com. Our first book crowdfunded about 2 years ago, and it's now sitting on Amazon under $10. The second book it's taken a little longer than anticipated, but I think you're gonna see that it'll be worth the wait because it's double everything, double the page count, double the books. Even we're actually doing a variant book series, so the same story told in two separate books by two separate art teams. So depending on your choice of art style, you get a different book if you like, or you could actually buy them both and get two different artistic interpretations of that story from two different perspectives.
Dude, and that is so damn cool. Like I said, you're the only person I've seen that's doing anything like that.
Yeah, fingers crossed it works. Let's get nuts.
I got to play it again. Here, Michael Vicky goes, Alubat Par.
That's genius.
That was great, Mike. Holy hell. Oh, man. Dude, Chris, thank you for being here. Again, I love your project. It's always a blast, and I am so looking forward to that as well. Ooh, hit the wrong thing. I am looking forward to the sequel. Happy and proud to be part of the project as well.
Oh yeah,
yeah, dude. That's what it's about, man. And it's good stuff, good stories. We got it in spades. I got some awesome projects out there. Yeah, if you want them, please make sure I hit the links below. Go to Vinnieart.com. Go to, we got Through the Woods. Through the Woods, I think I'm still like one sale away. Yeah, I'm one sale away from hitting 800 backers. So if anybody wants to jump on that and help out, that'd be awesome. Trying to get my mouse is still screwed up. Jesus. Yeah, I got
damn dirty mouse.
Yeah, they're all dirty. They're dirty like this green monster I've been banging for months now. Again, it's She-Hulk. Again,
Make sure you get some penicillin.
the whole point. The mouse is a piece of shit. No, we got Through the Woods hardcover. Yeah, jump on this. 100 pages. Frankie knows is the writer. You want the goods? We got the goods. The awesome stuff out there. Check it all out. Ships right away. All my stuff ships immediately. I am working on City of Venus 2 right now. Like I said, it's going to be a bigger book. I am in the middle of something. The next couple of weeks is going to get extra crazy. But then hopefully, I want to say maybe by the end of July, I'll start having some bigger updates and things of that nature. Because I want to do more stuff that's maybe more breakdowns with the with YouTube. If you guys want to see my process a little bit more, all that type of stuff. That would be awesome.
Through the Woods is an epic book. It appeals to all audiences. This old broad loved it, and my 12-year-old niece loved it just as much.
See, that is fantastic. Baby. I love to hear that. It's a good thing, and it's something for everybody. We got good stories, all that stuff. Again, shout out to the Kraken. That's the newest one I have. All my stuff you could find on whatever campaign you go on. There's links, and you can go to the other campaigns. This is my most current one, 52 pages, perfect bound. Get it while you can, and again, it'll be good too because it'll take some pressure off my back of all the stuff I got to lift. Because I got a ton of books still, yeah, things need to go out the door. I need to make room for more stuff, and we're talking again. City of Venus 2. That's going to be a bigger book as well. Everything I'm doing, I want to do perfect bound now. So it's going to be more pages. You guys wanted more content, you're going to get more content, more epic, crazy stuff. And in City of Venus 2, oh my God. Yeah, I got some cool stuff in the works for you guys and girls. Again, since you love How I Draw the Ladies, I promise you some more awesome stuff in there. It's going to be a good time. I think you guys are really going to enjoy it. Just where the story's going, because in 2 you're going to get more about the main character and some of the other heroic and crazy stuff that happens, more of the failed experiments, more of what happened to that world, the post-apocalyptic one, and all that kind of crazy cool stuff. And again, it's more bleak. It's not what people think. It's we're not talking the survivors that are thousands and thousands. We're talking tens. It's nuts, but trust me, it's going to be awesome. And then kind of where that whole book and story is going. But I know we do a lot of voices and other crazy things and talk about all sorts of stuff here. But this is my main thing. I am an artist. Worked on various things from toys, concept artwork, storyboards. But my real passion is making my own comics, telling my own stories, and everyone who's got my stuff. They've absolutely enjoyed it, top to bottom. I don't think I've gotten any critiques. If anything, maybe minor thing here or there, but it's pretty much been 10 out of 10 across the board. And I can't thank you guys and girls enough for that. I really am honored, and I'm delighted to be able to get that stuff out to you. But your support's going to help me get these things out quicker. Because the more money these campaigns make, the less freelance shit I have to do to pay the bills and all that stuff. So yeah, if you want to support more, it goes towards the comic books and it goes towards everything else and what I'm building here and the bigger universes that I want to make sure everyone's going to be able to enjoy. Again, and the more money these make, I could hire some extra people to at least do flats and get a little bit of help. Right now, everything is on my shoulders, which is extra insane to write, ink, color, draw all this stuff. It's a tremendous amount of work. So whatever you guys could do, I appreciate. In the meantime, too, if you do want to send any kind of donations, my PayPal is open. Should be at Vinnieart. or my full name, and you should be able to find me on there. But yeah, I'm hopefully we could get remonetized at the end of the month. So hopefully everything goes well with that. There was a short or two that they didn't like that did massive numbers, and they're like, they were dicks. So yeah, we got to correct all that. But I
Even
thank
though we
everybody.
know fact checkers are just opinions.
What was that?
I said, even though we know fact checkers are just opinions.
Yeah, well, I can't get into it, but it's
yeah.
YouTube is just, we know what it is. And
it's all of them, man.
It's yeah, it is. It is. They comply with the narrative. They get paid millions of dollars to do the shit that they do. So yeah, but hey, we do what we could here. Thank you, everybody. Nuke, watch a little bit earlier. Tina, she gave her views, and no, she did not like it. She gave it a D-, and then that's if you're just a normie going in, and because she loves Michael Keaton, and some of the other cameos she enjoyed, she gave it like a C or a C+ on the fan side of things. That was her take, but yeah. So but yeah, overall, it's the Flash is terrible. Ezra Miller is awful from what I understand. Like I said, I'm not watching it. I'm sticking to my boycott with that shit. But yeah, I mean, yeah, watch my Friday stream if you want to see my full views.
Yeah,
a lot of people have been rewatching, so thank you for that as well. Yeah. We'll go around the horn. Draven, let the good folks know where they could find you and anything else you'd like to say.
Let me
Big Ange.
Share my screen here. So this is the card for Wednesday. We'll be doing the wrestling is scheduled this week, and then Sunday we have Forbidden Door. So nice. Saturday I'm not sure exactly when we'll be able to watch. What is it? Collision. I don't know if ETEP wants to do what we did last time or whatever. But yeah. So, but this will be the show for Wednesday. And then thanks for having me. Always a pleasure.
Nice, man. Oh, dude, always great having you here. And yeah, that's going to be a blast. We always have an awesome time watching the wrestling stuff. Yep. We did last night as well, and then we continued the night with Mario Kart. And that was hilarious.
We did. That was fun. No Mario Kart this week, but because we got the wrestling and I got to work too. So
yeah. Oh yeah. Next Sunday, yeah. No stream over here because we'll be hanging out with Draven. So yeah, thanks for reminding me. Yeah, and yeah, we'll play it by ear with everything else. But yeah, let's jump to Tina. Let everyone know where they can find you and anything else you'd love to say.
Awesome. Well, thanks for inviting me. It was awesome, and I'm so glad to be here after being off for a few weeks. And follow me on Twitter at Tina Bowden, because I'm kind of popping up everywhere lately. If I'm not hanging out with these guys or on Sporky News podcast channel, well, Scott, hides from his viewers for a while. He got family business. But I even just this past Friday morning to talk about Flash, I was on with ETEP for about a half hour. So I try to promote things in YouTube. This coming Sunday, I will be on a new stream by Devil Made Me Do It from the Legion of Memers. It's called Get Ranked. Their first episode was earlier today on the ranking horror movie series, which I was very unqualified for. But we're going to be talking fast food hamburgers next weekend, and this Midwestern girl can talk about some hamburgers. So
nice.
I hope everybody had a great Father's Day and has a wonderful week coming up.
Absolutely. Thank you for being here. It's always great having you on as well. And our Trina, she couldn't make it on tonight, but yeah, we're sending good thoughts her way as well. And yeah, go subscribe to her channel. The Real Horror. We have an awesome time over there. We just did the Thing movie, the 82 one, and then the prequel. That was like in 2010 or 2011, whatever it was. And this week we're doing Fright Night on Wednesday. So you'll let everybody know that. So yeah, our Tina and our Trina, We love the ladies. They're awesome, fantastic people. And yeah, go check them out wherever you could. That's always a great thing. And we got super fan Adam Shawhan. Where can they find you, brother?
That's right, man. You're going to find me with all these good, wonderful people, usually in the chat, sometimes on the panel. You'll always see me Twitter it out or Facebook it out. And just having fun, man. Filming stuff in the woods, burning stuff, having a good old time. Like I said, all I did today was, my plan was to get on the roof safely and get the roof cleaned off and the gutter up and not fall off, and success.
Nice. Make sure someone holds a ladder, dude.
Well, there's a concrete retaining wall, and I just didn't go airborne and try to dive into the pool or do a CM Punk. But yeah, man, it was a lot of fun. Thank you. I know this went all over the place, but hey, welcome to 2023, baby.
That's it. Yeah, round table. We kind of we did freestyle tonight. I mean,
and even though it is kind of shitty here and there, at least when you find the right people, like every day, I'm so happy. Like I mentioned last night's stream, and it doesn't seem like it, but Thursday will be like the 2-year anniversary that I actually met ETAP. Like I went up to his old house, and gave him the necklace and shot the shit. And because we all have spent so much time together in the 2 years, it doesn't feel like 2 years. One, it's like, holy shit, 2 years went that fast. Right. But it feels like we've been doing this for decades, because we do. Yeah. We all talk nonstop every day via text messages, phone calls, whatever. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And to have that again, in my almost at 50, it's really nice to have such great people that really truly care and aren't, snakes, on a plane.
That's it, man. Yeah. Like I said multiple times, like I cut out those people. If I see them, or, I was cool with certain ones, and they show what they are, and a lot of people, they will. They'll dance like, like the monkeys or the trained seals. They'll do shitty things. They'll attack or hurt other people, for that extra buck. Sorry, yep. I don't roll that way. I try to be as genuine as possible with everything. You'll get my full views. You get my full takes. I'm not going out there being a dick. But if people are much like Al, like Al Bundy, yep. I'm cool with people until you show me what you are. If you talk shit, I'll give it back to you 10,000 times harder. I give it to you just like I'm giving it to She-Hulk right now. It's take that, Marvel, Disney, take that. But yeah, brutal morning one. Speaking of people who are giving it to others hard, brutal.
You had me a pop up like unexpectedly. That was. No, thanks. This is a lot of fun. I still don't know why you have me around, but like it is nice to save me from typing in the chat, so that's cool.
Well, you're a fun person, and I like your views on shit too. You're a good dude.
Yeah, I do all right, but yeah, no, this is a good time. Anytime, like I said, you keep inviting me, I'll keep coming back. So
cool.
Whatever.
Hey, like I said, I think you're good people. I know some of the stuff you've told us a few things, but it sounds like they deserved it. So.
Let's just. I'm not happy with myself. Okay, I know where I messed up. I know I messed up. I just, Anyway. Thanks for the invite. That's all I'm gonna say.
It's all good. It's all good. Yeah, dude. Thank you for being here.
Keep being brutal.
Yeah, keep being brutal. Just don't break any laws. But yeah, I don't know ETAP. He was going to be here, but that easy. Family night, and who could blame him? It's Father's Day, or it was Father's Day, so we still have about a half hour left on it. But yeah, send a much love out to our friends all over the place, the ones who could be here, the ones who couldn't be here. And be kind to one another. Kick ass while you create. Don't take shit from anybody. And we're gonna keep trying to find some good in this world, and we'll talk about that more. But we'll still spotlight the bullshit as well. Because no one else is really talking about it, which is crazy. Dude, Chris, how you doing, man? Red Dress Press. Everyone, go out there, go subscribe to his channel. Chris and Sim, they do some good stuff too. They got the morning roast. They showcase other people's books and projects. Chris is awesome. So tell you, dude. I want to get him back on this channel. You got to message me, brother. You got to let me know what's good for you. and yeah, we'll make some time because yeah, Chris, he's always a blast. Awesome supporter of the channel, of the projects, all this stuff. And yeah, we've had we've had fun on a bunch of different streams. So yeah, miss hanging out with you, bro. But yeah, everybody here, you guys and girls are amazing. Nuke, again, Red Dress Press, Sim, Tree Rock Creations, Dina, everyone who's been on panel here, Frankie Knows, Keely Chow, Michael Beacon, Lion Ratton, Will Palmieri. Let's see what else we got. Monotony. I know you couldn't make it on either, brother, but yes, I sent out good your way too, brother. Soul Assassin. Yeah, scroll up here. Yeah, thank you so much, guys, for jumping in and everything too. Remember to hit like and subscribe if you're not subscribed. King of Squibs. Let me see. Yeah, if I do miss anybody, my apologies. Toy Mafia, Trina, Edwin the Ace. Like I said, Sim also has a project out there, so go support him. If you got a wrench, like I said, you could drop links here. I'm cool with that as long as it's good people and they're good projects. Check out all that stuff. Everybody who came in here tonight, thank you once again. Please have an awesome night. Have some fun. Don't pull a Batman. Here is a clip of the DCEU crashing and burning. Because you know what? They get what they deserve.
Get what you fucking deserve! I started blasting. Bang! Bang!
It's always sunny. I know it started, but yeah, everybody, thank you so much yet again. Use all rock. Let me see if we can find some more good stuff to go around here. Yeah, we'll go around some Ric Flair. Yeah, we haven't played him, so yeah, we didn't play him this week. We'll play him now. Everyone, have an awesome night.
I want to see it. Let's see what you got. Limousine riding, jet flying, kid stealing, wheeling dealing, son of a gun that could kiss any woman right here, even that fat one, and make her cry. Brother, watch this, girls. Woo! Woo! Hey! Woo! 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 Woo!